All right. Hello, everybody. And welcome to the Iconic Video Games Podcast. I'm your host, Axel1324.
I'm Death Dealer.
And I'm Doggy Dog 420.
Yes. And we have another great show planned out for you guys today. But before we get into it, Death Dealer, you weren't here last week, but what have you been playing for these last 2 weeks? Or actually, no, it's been like a month because I was missing for like 2 weeks. And then you were missing 1 week. Yeah, so it's been like a month. What have you been playing in the last month?
Not much, actually. That sounds pretty sad, actually. Yeah, not anything.
It's turning a gamer card a month without gaming. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right. It's all good. It's all good. Doggy, I'm so excited to hear what you've been playing. Tell me all about it, bro.
Okay, yeah, see, like last Saturday, we finished up Hive Busters, and then we moved on to Gears of War Judgment and did the first 21, the first half of the game. It's pretty cool. A little different, but still great, you know? Still Gears, still great. And then all I was playing after that is I got my digital copy of Lunar Remastered Collection, and you know, I might not have played those on the Sega CD, but hey, it was worth the wait, man. Like, the story's so, like, the story just kind of grabs you, like, right at first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like the characters are cool. The exploration of it's old school. You know what I'm saying? You got to talk to every single person in the town to know where to go. You know what I'm saying? I've been lost so many times, and you just do what you used to do back in the day. You go just talk to everybody, and you'll finally figure out, oh, just this one random dude told me. He gave me this little hint. And you're like, yes. So, but the combat's awesome in there. The music is just that kind of music that just sticks in your head all day long. And it does. I don't know if that's the original music because I didn't play the originals, but whether it's remastered or not, it's amazing. Yeah, like I said, the combat's cool about how, you know, how people shift around in there and how it can kind of get you in a bad spot and get you hammered on, you know, and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm more impressed with it than I thought I would be. So everything about it, I'm probably not explained it that great, but it was worth the wait.
Sure.
I can't stop playing. There's other things I want to play, but I just can't stop playing it right now.
So, Doggy, I've talked about Lunar many times on this show over the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Was I exaggerating with how good it was?
No, I don't think you gave it enough credit. No, you explained it well enough, and I knew it was going to be great. Like I said, I always wanted it when I had a Sega CD. I just didn't get them, and that's all right. I could just enjoy them now, and I love that story. I love the way that's developing and stuff in that first game. So, and I'm sure the second one will be. I'm sure the second will be just as great. So, yeah, it was worth the $50. It was worth the $50. At first, I thought, man, this is kind of a little overpriced, but nope. No. It was two great games for $25 a piece. I'll take it.
The Lunar complete collections on the PlayStation were like $100 each back in the day.
Oh,
I got those, and I'm like, yeah, happy.
Right. Yep. $50 wasn't bad. So no, I'm just totally enjoying it. I can't stop playing it. I don't want to stop playing. I'm not going to stop playing. I'm just going to finish that, and then I'll move on to the next. So much to play, like the Expedition game. I got that Fatal Fury
I want to start
game
Expedition so much, but I told you this is the year of the backlog. Dang it!
Right. So I'll get
to my backlogs.
It'll be in Game Pass for a little while. So I'll get to it next.
So speaking of the year and the backlog, so I this week I've been playing a lot of Lies of P. You know, I play maybe 1 or 2 hours a night. Not every night, but on nights I do play. So I would say I play maybe 4 to 5 nights a week. So at most I'll get like 10 hours in a week, right? So it's not like I have all this gaming time behind me because, well, you know, I'm a married male adult. I have a wonderful wife that supports me, but I still, of course, have to be a wonderful husband back to her by doing the honey-do list as much as I can, right?
Right.
And so my gaming time, I try to limit it to like, you know, a couple of hours a week. And so I've been playing Lies of P, man, and I'm loving it. I finally ran into a boss that I struggled with, and it took like 10 tries for me to beat him. Oh man, it pissed me off. I was showing it to Doggy yesterday, and Doggy was just like, "I don't care." Yeah, and when I finally beat him, I'm like, "Yeah." I feel like my wife went, "What the f is this? Or what the heck happened? Are you kidding me?" Like, there's so many times that he like beat me by a magic pixel. I was so pissed, like I hate stuff, and I don't know. Like, this boss was like the perfect combo of speed, AOE, and impact. Like, every time he hit me, it was at least half my health. So when he hit me, I always needed to retreat, but his range was so massive. Sometimes I couldn't retreat, and I would just die, or he could close the gap instantly. It was insane. So yeah. So I'm loving Lies of P. I beat him. I've moved on to other bosses, and first try. As it is now with Soul games, right? With me, there's a lot of first tries. But then you run into that boss that just like try again. Oh my gosh, yeah. So I think I'm almost done with Lies of P. The first playthrough. It is impossible to get 100% on Lies of P on one playthrough. You have to do at least 2 playthroughs, but I think if I want to get 100%, I need to do 3 playthroughs, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to do my 1 playthrough, and I'll watch the other endings on YouTube. So, yeah, that's the way I'm going to run it. But, man, Lies of P, such an underrated Souls game. I can't believe I didn't play till it was on its last leg on Game Pass, but I bought it. Thank God for the sales. And I'm so happy I bought it. Like, it is also an Xbox Play Anywhere title now, so I can stream it. Because I own it, even though it's not on Game Pass. So that's super cool. Love that. Love that Xbox Play Anywhere stuff.
Yeah, love that about Lunar.
Mm-hmm.
It is also that. So
absolutely. And chat, let us know what you've been playing. Of course, we love to hear what you have to say. Because chat, we love you guys. Let's check in with the chat, shall we? Shout out to It's Timmy. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. Appreciate you being here. Shout out to You're Wicked Hot. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. Appreciate you, buddy. Be sure to catch Your Wicked Hot on Noof Nookem's Gaming After Dark. He's on there with him, so shout out to him.
Yeah.
Shout out to Pink Pickles. Be sure to check. Thank you so much for being here. You're the real MVP. She's over there with Death Dealer every Sunday. Well, most Sundays.
Most Sundays.
Most Sundays. I heard you guys have a big interview coming up or something like that, like a cool person coming.
Yeah. Thing.
Okay. Enough. All right. I just heard you guys have a cool person coming on the show. So
a surprise, huh? Okay.
Yeah. So cool.
Awesome.
Let's see. Here we go. Doggy, why don't you read this one out loud for Death Dealer?
Oh, that's so small. Which one is this one here? Is that one from Timoth? Okay, so crime, right? Crime scene.
No, how's the best dealer and Reaper?
Let's see.
I'll read it.
Yeah, I think so.
How's the best dealer and Reaper in town doing? And hope you have had another great and productive week for your boss, the 4th Horseman, Death Dealer.
The world never short supplies me. What can I say?
There you go. Shout out to Harry Balzac. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. Appreciate you.
What
says,
is
hello,
that?
humans. What's up? Speaking of what's up, shout out to Web Dave. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says, what's up?
What up, Web Dave?
What's up, Web Dave? Death Dealer, don't let him hanging. Oh my gosh, love it. Shout out to Web Dave. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. Let's see. I'm going to skip that one, Balzac. Okay, I'm just saying. Let's see. Pink Bingo says she finished playing A Quiet Place this week. Okay, that's cool. Let's see. Cougarman says, I acknowledge the great Death Dealer, Dog and Axel. I love those podcasts. Hey, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
So much. Yeah. Let's see. It's Timothy says he's playing Crime Scene Cleaner and Assassin's Creed Shadow and now playing Oblivion Remastered. Hey, man. Those sound like awesome games. I'm not going to lie to you.
Shadow and then Oblivion. Hey, it's a couple long games there, huh? Yeah.
And Cougarman says, hope you're doing better, Axel. I'm getting better every day, man. I feel fantastic. Like, I'm finally getting my appetite back. I'm eating about half of what I normally eat. but it's a lot more than I was eating a few weeks ago. Like a few weeks ago, I could barely I couldn't even eat a whole sandwich. I could eat like half of a sandwich. So, and I didn't like, it's so funny. Once I got out of the hospital, it still took me like 3 or 4 days to get an appetite. It was an interesting way of like, I'm eating because I know I have to, but not because I want to. Like, I'm not craving anything. And, you know, my beautiful wife, as always, she's like, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? I'm like, I don't care. You know, during that time, I was like, whatever, you know, because I wasn't craving anything. I didn't have an appetite. But when I finally got an appetite, I was like, can you make me this? And of course, her being the amazing wife that she is, she did make it.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah. And so, yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. Thank you so much for asking, Cougar Man. Yeah, so that's always good. And then like, let me think here. Shout out to Jesse James. Hold on. That's wrong one. Here we go. Shout out to Jesse James. Thank you so much for being here. You're the MVP. He says, Axel, are you getting enough sun mowing your yard? I'm going to start mowing. I'm actually planning on mowing the yard tomorrow. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Let's see. All right. So moving forward. Oh, by the way, the Nintendo Switch pre-orders went live. I know that I think Pink Pickles got hers. Doggy, did you get yours Nintendo Switch too?
No, I did not. I didn't even
man.
try. So
Unbelievable. That dealer, did you get your Nintendo Switch too?
No.
Oh my gosh. It's okay, guys.
And they were scalping for enough, so you know, it's really wasn't worth it. You know, if they were up in the 1200s or something, hey.
Yeah. I ended up getting 2.
Oh,
and I'm not canceling
he's gonna scalp. Yes, he's scalp.
And I'm not canceling it because I'm just holding on to them in case they cancel one.
Oh yeah.
And you know, I'll take the other one if somebody wants one or whatever. You know, of course I'll get it if you pay me back, all that good stuff. But like, if nobody wants it, I'm just not going to pick it up. Just flat out, I'm not going to pick it up.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, Cougar Man. I am shocked too.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
Doggy Dog 420. I thought Nintendo was your favorite console. For real, Doggy. What's up here? You got no love for the Mario?
Yeah.
I was a mustache ride.
It just shows, you know, I'm how nice a gamer I am. I was letting other people get their chance first. I didn't want to, you know, take one up and somebody else could get it. I figured my table was fine the way it was.
Pipical says we were doing online pre-orders at midnight, and we were at the mall when it opened to wait at GameStop. Yeah, I heard. I saw the videos from Game Complainers channel. Yeah, that's great. And here she is. Shout out to my beautiful wife. Thank you so much for being here. You are the MVP of my life. She says, Mr. Doggy, you usually get the challenge. Yeah, Doggy, you usually get the challenge. Pre-orders.
Yep.
All right, so. You know, every now and again, you get some bad critics, like Doggy criticizing the Nintendo Switch, right? You get some bad critics, and they get it wrong. They're over here trashing things when really it's amazing. It's incredible. It's a fun experience. So today we're going to talk about games that the critics hated, but we love. Now, the criteria for this is it had to score a 70 or lower, usually in the 60s, right? Because 60s is usually like a D. Like, I don't know, if I... Like in college, you know, there's a saying D's get degrees. Not in my field. C's are better, right? And like a D might as well have been an F. It shouldn't even exist, right? Mm-hmm. And so to me, when I see something rated in the 60s, I'm thinking, okay, it's not that good because, you know, that's failing. Thanks, American education system. And so so all these games are games that critics got wrong, and they're 70 or worse, but that we love playing. So there you go. Shout out to MPG.
MPG is joining us with himself there.
Thank you so much for being here. You're the one who says PS5 Pro better. All right, there you go.
Taking him a break from his Forza Horizon 5 to play.
That's right.
Oh, that's cool. There you go.
And we understand, man. It can be overwhelming seeing the greatness of Forza Horizon 5. Let's see. Yeah. Jesse James says, actually, if your doctor gave you a 60% to die during operation, would you say that's low odds? Those are high chances. If there's a 60% chance to die, that's a high chance.
Yeah, I'm probably not doing that operation. I may as well just.
Yeah, yeah, just
What's
saying.
What's it really gonna save? You know, like.
Yeah, I better already be on my deathbed if he's gonna.
Right? Yeah. I mean,
like,
yeah. I better have 100% chance of dying if I don't do it. You know, kind of thing.
yeah, yeah. And the operation, yeah,
Then
exactly.
the odds are sounding better. You know. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm taking it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. So we're gonna talk about games that the critics got wrong. So up first, we got Death Dealer, and her first game. Hold on, because I wrote it all down, and I seem to have lost it.
Uh-oh.
Hold on, Death Dealer. Give me a second. Calm down, Death Dealer. Just relax.
Yeah.
Just bring it down a notch, okay? All right, here we go. Her first game scored a 61 by the critics. Death Dealer, what is this 61 rated game that the critics got wrong?
Dead Island Riptide. They don't know nothing. I mean, seriously, I could disagree with them about this one all day long. I still play this game years after the fact
Oh,
with a new one out. I mean, it starts off where the first one ends, so it's a continuation of the first one. Okay, you can transfer your levels from the first game over to this one should you decide to, so you're not starting back at 1 again. I mean, you start off with 0 weapons, but that's not the point. The point is you can get your hands on them a lot quicker and modify them a lot easier. Like, there's more zombies. It's a completely new area. I mean, they don't know nothing.
They don't know
This
nothing.
is an amazing game.
All right. Giant Bomb Death Dealer has something interesting to tell you. They say Riptide is more Dead Island, but not better Dead Island. What do you have to say about that?
Did we play the same game?
Ugh. By the way, they give it a 4 out of 10. All right.
They're entitled to be wrong.
Destructoid gave it a 5 out of 10. Oh my god. And I'm not going to read it. That's like a full paragraph. No, screw that. Never mind. Forget Destructoid. Oh my gosh.
They're entitled to be wrong.
Xbox Achievements gave it a 50%, and they said the first Dead Island was an interesting breath of fetid air and one that made for a novel take on zombie survival. Dead Island Riptide takes all the worst elements of that title, removes some of the better ones, and adds new features that are average at best to create something that is wholly underwhelming. What do you got to say to that? That they're like,
I mean, they're still wrong, but they can have an opinion. They don't have to play the same game that I'm playing.
There you go.
I mean, these are also the same people that have given other games that I absolutely would rag on and die on those hills because those games are absolutely terrible, but they've gotten amazing scores from critics. We can't all agree on everything. That's why there's choices in life.
True,
and they're entitled to be wrong.
Yeah. They can be. They can be. All right. So Dead Island Riptide. Doggy, did the critics get it wrong?
I was looking on True Achievements because I couldn't remember which one of these I played. I played this for 10 hours. I'm going to say they got it wrong because, I mean, I think any Dead Island game that I played has been good. So, I mean, I guess I didn't play it for 40 hours worth or something like that, but maybe I just moved on to something else at that point. But, yeah, I don't remember playing any Dead Island game that I played was fun. So, what'd you say? Got a 61?
It got a 61.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know a ton about this game or whatever, but it definitely was way more fun than a 61. There's plenty of stuff to do. Was this the one where you could drive in cars and all that good stuff? And, yeah, it was fun. This game was fun. It might not have been like a 90 or nothing, but I mean, a nice 70s, low 80s or something, I would say. So, yeah, shame on them, man. Shame on them for this.
Shame.
Pathetic score. You know, the people gave it a 4? Come on. What are you doing?
They just probably honestly weren't very good at the game.
Right, yeah.
The problem probably was they were probably terrible at it.
And I haven't played it. I haven't played it, so I have nothing to say on it. But I can tell you this: I have played games that Death Dealer has recommended, and I have a blast with them. So,
Yeah, yeah, and I mean,
I'm going to take the word of my friend Death Dealer over
right.
Xbox achievements and what was the other one? Giant Bomb or whatever. Screw that.
Giant bomb or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Giant bum.
Giant Bomb. They were giantly wrong.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, let us know. Did the critics get Dead Island Riptide right or wrong? We'd love to hear what you guys have to say.
Yeah. It's a good question.
Let's see. Splindiferous is in the house. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP.
Splindiferous.
Appreciate you, buddy.
What's up, brother?
And Cougarman says, for me, I never pay attention to critics because most people are clueless and everyone has different tastes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right. Well, great first game. The win started strong. All right. Up next is my buddy Doggy. And Doggy's first game scored a 64. Not much better.
A 64.
64. Doggy, what game is that?
An undeserving 64 for Rise, Son of Rome. What started out, I think this started out as like an Xbox 360 Connect game, and then they just kind of retooled it for a launch game in 2013. This was one of the first games I played on my Xbox One when I got it. You play as Marius, and
yeah.
And so you're just avenging your murdered family. Campaign's about 6 to 8 hours, so short. Okay, I get you. You can complain about that if you want, but damn, it was cool. It was an ancient Rome. You're going through trap-filled swamps and thick forests and ship-filled beaches, and there was just plenty of different environments and stuff, But the presentation of this game was just amazing. We all know, I don't have to tell you, dude, the graphics. Not only were they just amazing back then, like probably the best looking game at that time, even though it was only 900p, and that could make you a better gamer. It wasn't 1080p, so I wasn't a better gamer. But no, the graphics were great, and people still talk about how great the graphics are on this game today. The voice acting was great. The sounds and the music were great, and even the story was good. The story was great, I thought. So the combat, some like to pick on the combat, saying it's too repetitive. I don't care, man. It was hack and slash combat. There was tons of enemies on the screen at once. You could go back and forth in between them, building up your combo. You could get a pretty high combo. I think you got rewarded for the combo too. I don't remember what
if you did the execution with the right buttons, it would be more violent.
Right. Yep. And the QT executions were awesome. The enemy variety I thought was good. There's a few boss battles. They were cool. Like I said, some people complain about the short campaign. Not really a problem to me. You know what I'm saying? If it was good, it's good. And some people complain about the combat. And I thought the combat was good in the game. I like the combat. So
and there was no lag in the game either. Like it
ran solid. Buttery smooth. No matter how many enemies were on that screen, it ran smooth. It never bogged down or nothing. Right? It never bogged out. Never lost its resolution, frame rate, any of that kind of stuff. It just ran good. If the multiplayer was fun. I played the multiplayer.
The Coliseum,
in the Coliseum, and then it had like little missions to do in hordes and stuff, and then
you could unlock new executions.
Right? Yeah. So that was kind of cool. So overall, I thought this game was criminally underrated. And I think it deserves a sequel, and I'm not the only one that thinks that. I've heard that from a lot of people. So shame on whoever gave this a 64.
All right. Well, let's find out who gave it a low score.
Yeah.
So Doggy, Metro UK.
Oh, Doggy UK.
Retro UK says, it has this to say about your game. A shallow and unambitious tech demo of the sort that console launches specialize in. The action works perfectly well, but it's instantly repetitive to the point of insanity?
Yeah,
they forgot an S.
Yeah.
Sorry. I give your writing a 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
They give it a 3 out of 10.
Yeah, I give it a 64 on the writing. Yeah.
Yeah. They gave it a 3 out of 10, Doggy. What do you got to say to Metro?
Am I allowed to say that on this show? Well, some things are better left unsaid, but you know what I was going to say.
You're allowed to say PG-13.
F you, Metro UK. There you go.
Oh my goodness! All right, GameSpot. Oh no, that's too long. I'm not going to read that. Let's see. Okay, Giant Bomb.
Oh, hey, a bum.
Giant Bomb gave it a 6 out of 10.
Oh,
and they're saying Rise leans too heavily on its merely decent combat, but at least it looks really, really nice doing so.
Okay, I mean, that's what a lot of people say. It's just, I don't know. I just thought the combat was more fun than a lot of people say. I don't know.
I had a lot more fun with it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Death
Really
Dealer, did the critics get this right or wrong in your opinion?
Once again, they got it wrong. I mean, honestly, I genuinely don't know how they decide these things amongst themselves, but they're usually wrong. So, I mean, let's just say when the critics say something's like really bad and it's got none of this and that and the other thing, I usually enjoy it a whole lot more than when they say, "Oh, this is amazing. This is the game of the year." Not so much. Not usually.
Right?
This is
Yeah.
one I don't think they were right on either. This one was entertaining. I honestly don't know anybody who didn't think it was entertaining that played it. So
So
Right.
I didn't play this as a launch title. I played Rise Son of Rome Definitive Edition or whatever it was, where you could just unlock all the executions right away and all this stuff, right? And I was playing it and messing with the executions, and I'm like, oh my god, I had to try each one, right? And this game was awesome. It was a looker, and the story, even though you play this character, you're technically a toy for the gods. And the ending kind of points it out. That's what I love about this game, is that the ending is like, it was basically a bet between two gods, right? Of what would happen with you. And I loved that ending part of it. And to me, it opened it up to, because it was Rise, Son of Rome, and these gods could have done like Rise, Daughter of Rome, or whatever, Second Son of Rome, or whatever, where they place bets again to see what happens. So that was a really interesting aspect of this game.
Yes.
That I think is vastly overlooked. It had a really cool ending.
Yep.
And I liked it a lot. And the battle scenes, the fact that you were like sieging a city and like doing the Roman shield and walking like them instead of just action hack and slash. Like there was strategy to it as well.
Yeah, there's a few moments like that. Yep.
Yeah, and so it's like, oh, you're getting shot at. Okay, this is a good opening. Throw some spears. It was fun. I really enjoyed Rise, Son of Rome. I thought it was a good game. I don't think it deserves a 64 at all. If I had to give it a rating, I'd give it like a 75, at least 10 more points.
Yeah, it deserved in the 70s. I mean, it had its faults, but
no, it was good. It was good.
Do you think this might have been maybe one of the first Xbox tax? Maybe?
Oh, heavily taxed. I think this game was heavily taxed. I mean, I'm giving it a mid 70s just based on memory. But I'm sure when I was first playing it, I'm like, oh, this game deserves higher, maybe an 8 out of 10 or something.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I loved it when I was first playing it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's check in with the chat. Splendifer says, hello, Deathy Withy. We missed you last week, especially one guy that his name starts with an S and ends with an S, such as Splendifer.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed you guys.
All right, there you go. And shout out to, oh my gosh, Pradeep Daliwa says, yo, what's up? What's up? Thank you so much for being here. You're the real MVP. Appreciate you.
Oh, thanks for joining us.
All right, and again, guys, let us know. Did the critics get this one right or wrong? We'd love to hear what you have to say. All right, moving on to my first game that I feel the critics got severely wrong. So my first game scored a 68. And that is none other than the very first Monster Hunter. Now, this was I only own like 5 PlayStation 2 games, and this is one of them. And this game, I remember launching this and just thinking, this game is beautiful. Like it is serene and relaxing. And it shows you like it is lonely. Like, I don't know, it had these big open areas where you had to hunt a monster. And it was big and lonely, and I loved it about it. It was like a hack and slash mixes with an RPG, mixes with like a crafting game. And it's so funny because like some of the things that are now standard with Monster Hunter, like you get your pet cat, a calico. The calicos are in a village in this one, and they steal from you. Which is so funny because you send your pets out to the world to steal stuff now in the new Monster Hunter, right? And everything is slow and methodical in this game. Like And the new Monster Hunters, you can climb really fast, you can cover terrain really fast, all this stuff. And this one, you can't cover that much. You had to run real slow. You had to climb slow. There was no like anything. And I guess why they hated this game was because the combat was very different. So, you know, the PlayStation tool had the DualShock 2 or whatever it was, right? So it had the dual analytic. I know this isn't a PlayStation, but it's my controller here for this show and tell. And the original Monster Hunter World, this moved you around. The camera rotated with the R1 and R2 buttons.
Ew.
And this was your attack. You want to attack forward in front of you, press forward. If you want to attack to the right of you, press to the right, depending where the monster is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I can understand that the controls were janky, but you kind of get used to it really fast, if I'm being honest. And
Yeah.
And I don't know, like it didn't have a lock-on system, as you can see. Like the new Monster Hunters have a lock-on system. This one didn't. This one was like a skill-based hack and slash with combinations of buttons and directional pad to get you what you needed to do. And I don't know, I love this game. And I feel the critics got this one super wrong because obviously this game sold really well. People loved it. It launched an entire franchise. One of the best franchises now. And so the critics, I think, got this one completely wrong. I loved Monster Hunter on the PS2, but let's see what the critics had to say, and so I can call them what Doggy says to them. Let's see. So let me see. Game Informer gave it a 38. A 38. They said
38.
A 38. They said clearly someone must like this title, but with all my years playing, I honestly can't tell you why. I can tell you why because it's beautiful, man. They go on to say, how do you take huge weaponry, dragons, and co-op conquest, mix them together, and make it not fun? I thought that this combination would only result in pure goodness, but Monster Hunter unequivocally proves me wrong. You're wrong, man. This game was fun. I had a really good time playing this game. And let's see.
That was funny.
One last one is GameSpy. He says, all in all, Monster Hunter is a beautiful gaming experience with a solid online aspect. True.
Yeah.
If you could manage to work your way through the steep learning curve for the controls, yes, it gets easy to lose yourself in what the game has to offer, 100%. Think of it as a fantasy camping experiences, but without any of the pesky bug spray. And yeah, I would say that's good. And they gave it a 6 out of 10. But no, this game to me was amazing. I loved playing this game. So, Death Dealer, what do you think? Did the critics get it right or wrong?
I'm not sure about this one because I didn't play this one.
All
So I
right.
have no opinion.
No opinion.
But I'm sure they didn't. They never do.
No,
so.
obviously they didn't because it sold really well. Doggy, do you think the critics got this one right or wrong?
Oh, of course I didn't play it. You know, the only one I played really enough of to talk about was that first one on the Xbox One that had like the 8-hour tutorial that I didn't like.
Monster Hunter World? Yeah.
Yeah, that okay. But like Death Dealer said, they obviously must have got this wrong because like it obviously did good enough with enough people that it spawned a series that's still rolling to this day. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that isn't a definitive saying they're wrong, but obviously more people liked it than didn't like it that played it. So but I can't speak for it because I didn't play it. It sounds like a weird way of playing, but just like any old game that had clunky controls, we played it. We got used to it. You played however you were meant to play the game. That's just how it was. So that's
Absolutely.
not really a good knock, especially back then. So a 38, I'm sure it was better than 38.
Yeah, what's funny about this is like, you know, you say that, oh, Monster Hunter World had an 8-hour tutorial, like, and that's kind of like the thing about Monster Hunter is like there's systems upon systems upon systems at work, and to be a good Monster Hunter, you got to learn them, and this learning curve is steep on Monster Hunter, but that's what we love about it. Just being truly honest, I love discovering the systems. Like now in the newer Monster Hunters, one of my favorite things to do is to get the monsters to fight each other instead of me fighting them. It's so much fun, and it took me a while to figure out that system on how to make them fight on purpose. And once I figured it out, hunting became so much easier. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I don't know. I love Monster Hunter. It's one of my favorite franchises. I love playing it by myself. I love playing it with my friends. I just love it, and this is what started that love. Shout out to Capcom.
The love.
The love. I'm in love with the monster. Let's see. Let's check in with the chat. Shout out to Big B Money. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says, what's up, Army Xbox? It's king of gaming. Absolutely, man. No lies detected. Shout out to Jago Kukin. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says, Rise Son of Rome did a great job at making you feel like you were part of the Roman army. Yes. It told a fantastic story, and the combat was super fun. It's still one of my favorite Xbox games. Score equals 85. There you go. Thank you so much for letting us know what you would give it. And by the way, chat, be sure to give your ratings to any of these games. We'd love to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, the 64 was definitely uncalled for.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
All 3 of these games that we mentioned in this first round were criminally underrated. So, as will probably the rest of the games be that we mentioned tonight.
So bad, so bad.
So bad.
And it's so bad, doggy.
It is so bad.
It is so bad. If you watch this show, you know where it's coming from. Yeah, and so let's see what else we got. Shout out to Glinzer. Thanks so much for being here. You are the real MVP. He says everybody should be his or her own Metacritic. Absolutely.
You darn right. You darn right. Yep.
No lies detected, my person. I don't know. I feel like Glinzer, it could be either a boy or female name, so I'm just going person. Yes. Shout out to you. Oh my gosh, Cougar Man is over here agreeing. He said Monster Hunter Z's puts him to sleep. What?
There you go, Cougar Man.
Yeah. And here's another hater over here. This is another Game Informer magazine over here. Jago Kukin. He says, I beat this Monster Hunter by never buying it, as always. Shout out to Jago, man. Shout out to Troll Jago. Let's see. Glitter said, I like Dynamite Cop on Dreamcast and critics load there. Yeah. Some things are just not meant to be. Not meant to be. All right, but let me get things set up here. Sorry, guys. It is my first time trying to use this texting feature. So apologies. Yeah, the little scrolling text. But Dougie. Yeah. With all that being said, Dougie, guess what time it is?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the iconic Video Games Podcast, it proudly brings to you its greatest podcast segment in the world. It's intermission time with Death Dealer.
Woo! Take it away, Death Dealer.
All right. Since we're talking about critics, anyways, we're going to discuss the critics' least favorite choices of gaming. We'll be discussing them by councils, though. Breaking it down by council. Aren't you all feeling lucky and special?
I know. I feel lucky. All right. The first question is in the chat, in the private chat.
Okay.
In the private chat. Let me see. While she gets that, shout out to Cyber Gunther. Thank you so much for being here.
Yo, what's up?
Are you ready? Are you ready, Death Dealer?
Yep. All right.
All right. Take it away, Death Dealer.
Which Super Mario game do the critics hate the most? Super Mario Maker 3DS, Super Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario All-Stars Limited Edition, Super Mario Land.
All right. Yep. Super Mario Land. Yep.
I'd be confused for a minute. I see limited edition on the chat, and it's not a. You threw me off.
Yeah. No, it doesn't fit in the poll. So, all right. So, which one do you think scored the lowest, and why? Which one would you think scored the lowest?
Which one would think scored the lowest? Probably Super Mario Maker 3DS. That one seems kind of niche. if you didn't have a 3DS, you wouldn't be able to play it. So
All right. All
I
right.
don't know.
Okay. Doggy,
Yes.
which Super Mario scored the lowest in your eyes?
Oh man, I got rid of the thing over the chat. Well, there was Super Mario Brothers 2, the All Stars,
Uh,
RPG Maker,
Yes,
and
and Mario Land.
Mario
Game Boy,
Land.
yeah.
And it wouldn't have been Mario Land. That was an awesome Game Boy game. I know what Mario 2 got. Then there was Mario. What was the other one? All Stars. That would have rated right. I got to go with the Maker, the RPG Maker thing.
The RPG Maker. All right, let's give the chat you know what? They've had about 2 minutes already. I think that's good. I think that's good. We are gonna go and end the poll there. All right, final answers, right? Everybody, right?
Final answers.
Let's go.
All right. And drum roll, please.
All right, and coming in hot with 62% said Super Mario 3DS. 25% coming in saying Super Mario Brothers 2. 12% saying Super Mario Land, and nobody voted for Super Mario All-Stars Limited Edition.
Oh, all right. So we want to know the scores, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so what was the highest one, Tetila?
That would have been
Mario 2.
Nintendo. Yeah. No, Super Mario Maker 3DS.
That was
That
the
was-
highest one?
70 out of 10. Out of
Oh, okay.
70. Okay. What's the next one, Tetila?
Super Mario Brothers 2.
That one scored a 78.
Oh, okay.
78.
I thought I got
Alright.
higher than that. Okay.
Super
Yeah.
Mario Land.
Scored a 79.
Oh, really? That's
Super Mario All-Stars.
Limited edition. Now, not all stars on the SNES. Limited
limited
edition.
yeah, it's 85.
Scored a 60.
What?
It was a terrible port, choppy. Mario would blink in and out. It was
Wow.
a terrible port to the Wii. It
Huh.
scored a 60.
That has to be the lowest scored Mario game ever.
It is the lowest scoring Mario game ever. So there you go.
Huh.
Let me check in with the chat real quick. Hold on, guys. Let's see. Let me reset this so I'm not saying. All right, let's see. Oh, so they're talking about Expedition 33. Yes, Cyber Gunther. It is amazing. I can't wait to play it.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to get
Yeah,
to that.
Can't wait to
Yeah.
play it.
Had
Let's
too
see,
many
Slim
games come
Difference
out at
is
once,
Super
man.
Mario 2. No, you were wrong.
Yeah.
Slim Difference is all of them because I'm a Sonic guy. Oh.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. They're all junk.
Dreadful says, "What's up, everybody? What's up, Dreadful?
What's up,
Thank you so much
Dreadful?
for being here. You are the real MVP." Jago Cookin says, "I say it's Super Mario Maker." Nope. Wasn't that?
Yeah, that's what I thought was. I said RPG Maker. I don't know why I said that.
And I agree with Glinzer here. Super Mario Galaxy 3 does need to happen. Absolutely. I love the Galaxy series. Okay, let me get set up for the next question. Guys, talk to the chat.
All right.
Here.
What's up,
Or
Lost
talk to each other. I don't care.
Boomer?
Get it together.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, Lost Boomer, what is up? Just joined us. Let's see. Yeah, Expedition 33. Man, I've been looking forward to that for a while. And of course, 3 games had to come out in 1 week. That's the way, that's the way it goes, you know. So once I get done with the Lunar, then I'll move on to the Expedition 33. And I guess my Fatal Fury will just have to sit there and not get played for a while, but that's okay. It's all good. That's what happens. And then you got to get done with all that. What Doom comes out on May 12th if you got the early access version. So man, I hope that Expedition 33 isn't very long. You know what I'm
All right,
saying?
we're ready.
Like,
Jetila, you ready?
Yeah,
All right, you see the question in the chat?
I do.
All right, take it away, Jetila.
Which Zelda game do critics hate the most? Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link Zelda, The Wand of Gameleon, TLOZ, the Force Heroes.
That doesn't fit.
This is all okay for everyone. These are all together. None of these are spaced, so I'm trying to figure out where one game ends and one game starts. So I'm doing the best I can. Just work with me. You know what? I'm gonna look over here instead. Okay. Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, Zelda, The Wand of Gameleon, TLOZ, Triforce Heroes, Link's Crossbow Training.
Yeah, TLOZ is short for The Legend of Zelda.
Was a Zelda, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, Detonator, which one do you think scored the lowest?
I'm gonna go with Link's Crossbow Training. I feel like that's a really short. That should be a very short game based on the title. So
You're
I'm
not
gonna
wrong,
go.
it
With
is
that
short.
one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that one.
All right.
I feel like that should have been like an add-on or something, probably.
All right. Doggy, which one do you think scored the lowest?
I don't think I've heard of 3 or 4 of these, man. Like maybe this
There's only
Triforce,
4
yeah.
on there, bro.
Yeah, I haven't heard of 3 or 4 of them. You know what I'm saying? 3 of 4.
He's never heard of any of them, is what he's saying. None
Yeah,
of them.
except for the first one. Yeah, I haven't heard of the rest of these. Like Triforce Heroes, maybe I've heard of that. I think that was a good one. I'm thinking that was
That
a
was on
good
the
one.
3DS.
I'm thinking that one rated high.
Was it on 3DS? Or
Wand of what? Gamelon? Never heard of that. I'm sure this Link's Crossbow is probably a Wii game,
it
which
is.
probably got better ratings than it probably should have. I'm just, you know what? I'm going to go with what I know. And one of the worst Zelda games I ever played was Adventures of Link. So I'm just going to say that and just figure that that's the way it should be. Because, I mean, I haven't played all Zelda games, but that was the worst one I've ever played. So, Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link
There you go.
is my
And
guess.
Zelda 2. All right. All right, here we go. Let's see what's going on here. I think that's a shout out to Glinter. Glinter says, I haven't heard of 5 or 6 of these on this poll. That means stop drinking.
No, yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
start giving you answers that aren't even on the poll. Which Zelda game's the worst? Kirby.
All right.
Yeah.
So as you read these, I will tell you the score, okay?
Dying right now. Okay, that sounds much less confusing for everyone involved.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
All right. So what did the chat think was the lowest scored Zelda game?
All right, coming in hot. 62% said Link's Crossbow Training. Apparently, I'm not the only one that thought the title made it sound like it should have been that on.
All right. That one scored a 67.
That has to be the winner there.
I feel like that's the one.
Yeah, it's no way.
I feel like that's the one.
That, yeah.
All right. At 25%, we had Zelda: The Wand of Gameleon.
This
Whatever.
gem on the CDI scored a 42.
I didn't know I was on the CDI, or I would have picked that. Okay.
A
Okay, that's not
42.
fair. That was cheap. We didn't know that just on that. Okay.
I forgot that
12%
as
said Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link.
That one scored a 77.
That sounds appropriate. Not really, but the score sounds better than the other two. All right. And nobody said Triforce Heroes.
Which scored a 69. So the real winner is the Wand of Gamelon. So give
CDI,
yourselves a
yeah.
round of applause if you even knew about that CDI trash.
I knew they had a Zelda game. I didn't know what the name of it was. What Adventures of Link game? What'd you say? 77?
Yeah, 77.
Even that's pretty piss poor for Zelda games. So yeah,
Yeah.
man, you picked out the cream of the crap right there, man.
That's
Man.
right. I picked up the diarrhea.
Yeah, you did. Sheesh.
Right.
Some major.
Little
toilet
Kid is
paper-
in Camp Doggy says, I've only heard of Zelda 2. WTF.
Oh
is
yeah,
Zelda
yeah,
games."
yeah. What were those? Yeah. Woo.
Same.
Yeah,
thing.
right?
Just
Second,
pulling the
Little
answer
Kid
out.
says, all you had to say was Philip CDI. That's why I didn't say
Right.
it.
You
when
just
she
said
was
that. I
announcing
would.
it.
Yeah. I would. Yeah.
I didn't. I don't know if you noticed. I'm like, oh, that was on the 3DS. Oh, that was on the Wii, but I never mentioned the CDI.
Yeah, because like nobody would have that should have been the lowest one right there. That automatically should have just
Everybody would have known. Yep.
tanked it.
Then I'll let you read this one.
True winner 69.
That's right. There you go.
All right, we ready to keep going
That's
with the
my
show,
emergency
everybody?
contact, folks, in case you're wondering.
All right, here we go. Hold on, let me get my stuff ready here. Close this, type this. All right, hold on. So I'm going to tell you what the critics think of your game first this time, before you tell us what it is and tell us why they're wrong. I think
Okay, yeah, I
would be
like
better,
that. Yeah, that's funny. Okay, yeah, do that.
Yeah, I
Gives
think
us
so.
arguing points too. Yeah. Okay.
All right, so Death Dealer, your next game is coming up. You can tell us what you think. And but first I want to tell you what I'm going to tell you now. That's too long.
I know it's bad. I know it's nothing but bad. And you know what? I don't care because they're wrong.
I'm going to tell you
And the
what
way they
IGN says
scale
about your
horror,
game. Here we go.
listen,
You
the way
ready?
they scale horror anything is just the worst scale ever. They never get those right. But go
So
on.
IGN gave your game a 4 out of 10, and they said, hand it to Sega. This is an ambitious title, and it's even functional for the most part. But ambition and basic functionality alone do not make a game good. The ironic thing about this game is that the control scheme is so basic, it comes off feeling like a game for kids when it tries so dang hard not to be. Even if you like the novelty of chopping off undead heads longer than I did, a bad horror game is a bad horror game, and this is a bad horror game. So, Death Dealer, what game are they trashing here? What's going on? Tell us how they got it wrong, Death Dealer.
Give me a second, because all the things I want to say, I know aren't appropriate for people's ears.
So the critics gave you a game overall of 59.
And they could eat a whole bag of
Severed zombie parts is what
wrong.
she said.
So wrong.
Take it away, Death Dealer. Tell us why they got this wrong.
Fun, honestly, and I mean, it was hard, but it is super fun, and it is anxiety-inducing, and it was one of the few horror games you use the Kinect. You don't have to, but you could, and it made it fun. I appreciated it. Yeah, the controls weren't the greatest because the Kinect wasn't the best. You know, I mean, come on, we have to be honest with ourselves. The tech wasn't quite where it should have been when it was released. But it was still fun to play. I mean, they're entitled to be wrong. I don't like them, and I'll be happy to meet them one day. But, I mean, they're entitled to be wrong. I know where they're going, and I hope they enjoy Heat.
For being liars.
Heat and pitchforks, man.
All right, now, Doggy, Death Dealer had talked about this game before and how much you
Yeah.
loved it. And you and I both agreed that this looks cool,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Well, have you had a chance to play this game since Death Dealer talked about it?
No, is it even still like? Are you able to get it unless it's physical?
No, the 360 store is shut down. If you want this, or you got to find physical.
Yeah, physical. Yeah. Nope, I haven't. I have not located the physical copy yet. But no, I'd never heard of this game before. Death Dealer brought this up, but this game looks super cool, and I bet you it's so fun to play with a Kinect. That would have been just a total blast, man. So I don't know what you said this game got, but I know it was under what it should have been.
It got a 59.
Man, like it doesn't even look like it has trash graphics. It doesn't look like it has trash gameplay. And it's a Kinect game. Of course, it's going to be like, it's probably not going to be as long, and it's going to be a little simpler in some parts. I don't know. The game looks fun. Shame. 59. Woof. Nope. Definitely deserved in the 70s, if not higher. Yeah.
So I haven't played this game, but I remember Death Dealer talking about how much she loved this game, and the way she described it made me want to play it.
Yeah.
And like I didn't even know that this game existed again until Death Dealer talked about it, and I thought it was awesome. And it makes me want to. I'm keeping my eye out for it physically. You know, whenever I go to the game stores, because I want to play it because I love my Kinect. I think the Kinect was a severely underappreciated peripheral, and I just think a lot of people are missing out on it. So yeah, I think the critics got this one wrong as well, because the way my friend Death Dealer describes it, fast. And who cares if it's simple? It was the Kinect. It's a
Right, yeah.
the thing about the Kinect is if you try to get complex with it, it would work even less.
Right. Right.
So if it was simple and it worked, then hey, at least it worked. Do you know how many Kinect games didn't work?
Yeah, try playing Madden like with the Kinect. That was a pain in the butt, you know.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. So yeah, let's see. Let's check in with the chat. Dreadful says they are so wrong they can eat them a bag of Blue Origin space shuttles.
Oh, wow.
Wow. The innuendo is strong in that one. Yeah. There you go. All right. Let's see. Jago says, one of the best horror games I've ever played was Resident Evil 7 in VR. It truly is on another level when you are in the world of Death Dealer. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah. And yeah, Jago, you are right. It did get hated on because it was watching you and enforced on you. But who cares, man? I don't care. If I can't imagine like what a third generation Kinect could have been doing right now.
Listen, I enjoyed my shenanigans with Kinect. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I had fun shenanigans. I scared myself with the Kinect. Okay,
mm-hmm.
I thought it was good.
I thought it was fun. The mic was great.
Yeah,
you could do phone calls with your friends on it. I loved my Kinect. You could tell back on the Xbox One, you could do the snap feature on it. It was great.
Or even
this
like
was one of the first games I think to implement the mic that if you make a sound while you're playing, the monsters hear the sound while you're playing the game, so you'll attract them. I mean, it was ahead and it was doing all right. I thought it was great. I don't understand how it didn't do better or have a sequel later on. It was a fun game.
Right.
You know what was another cool feature that is missed about the Kinect is instead of having to enter your 25-digit code, you could just scan
you could just QR scan it. Yeah.
Like, come on, man, that was awesome.
Yeah.
You know what else I miss? Cortana. I miss the Cortana feature. Cortana, Xbox on. Cortana, Xbox off.
I always miss
that.
Cortana.
I love.
Oh man, I always miss Cortana.
That was my favorite.
Poor Axe.
It's Cortana from Halo 4. Always miss her. Shout out to Pig Pickles. She says, I rage quit Resident Evil 7 right before the end. Oh no, you gotta go back. Pig Pickles.
Oh, I've done that a few days. Ah, forget it.
Listen,
I made it this far. Good enough. Good enough. Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Dougie.
Yes.
You're up next, but before we go next,
I can't wait to hear that.
let's see what the critics have to say. Electronic Games says if this was a second-rate clone of Mortal Kombat in the arcades, it's a third-rate job at home on the Genesis.
Okay, yeah. The Genesis version was, it would.
Right. Fighting fans who can't afford a Neo Geo will be pretty happy with this one. That was from Electronic Gaming Monthly, Dougie. The great EGM. So, Dougie, your game scored where would I put it? A 67.
Right, 67. And that was like for the whole round of just this one game. So, okay, this game originally came out in the arcades, of course, on the Neo Geo MVS system. I remember playing it like Pizza Hut, and I loved it. I was in love with fighting games by then. Of course, Street Fighter 2, and this was a Street Fighter 2 clone. That's just what it was. It was like I said, I just love fighting games. This one did what Street Fighter 2 did. You could either play normal mode and just go through different places in the world, beat 8 fighters, play the boss, all right? But this also had death matches. The death matches were cool because they had like spikes on the wall. You had electrified ropes, flaming ropes, oil slicks, all kinds of different kind of bombs in the ring and that kind of stuff. So that kind of added to it. I know it sounds simple, but once again, I was a sucker for any kind of fighting game. I thought it played great. I don't know what these people were talking about. It played even better on the consoles. just real quick, this game even introduced stuff like double jumping, like air jumps that had never been done in fighting games before. Air projectiles. So what are you punks talking about giving this a low game? So slow score. So I played this in the arcade. I owned it on the Super Nintendo. Yes, I owned that Genesis version, and that Genesis version was god awful. I give that to him, but I loved it anyway. I loved it so much just because I love this game, dude. I love that game, but it was junk. But one man's junk is another man's treasure, right? There you go. I had it on the PS2. I still have that copy of it. I have it on the PS4 because Arcade Archives remade it, and I have it on the Xbox One. So like Death Dealer was saying about a game earlier, I still play this game to this day. And while it's a simple fighting game, I don't care. I love fighting games, man. I can play fighting games all the time. And this one just, when I played it the first time, I just liked it. It just stuck with me. I was like, I like this game. So, and I just got so many different versions of it. I loved it. So, I don't see where it's any different. How dare they call this third-rate Mortal Kombat or whatever else they say? Punks, man. Whatever. It's not even. It came out before Mortal Kombat, you punks. So get out of here with that. Anyway, this game's awesome. They can kiss my butt. So how about that? I'm a real-world hero. You listen to what I say, punks. This game deserved an 80. Give me an 80.
Give you an 80. All right.
Give me an 80.
Did the critics get this wrong?
I mean, in time when it came out, it was fun. So I still don't know how the critics were getting their scores. I feel like it's because they were old people who didn't like video games.
Right.
That's what I feel like it was. Like they were just old people who didn't like video games.
All right, and
that's my final answer.
I suck at fighting games, and I'm not good at them, so I'm not a good judge of this. So I'm gonna go with my buddy Doggy. If he says it's a good fighting game, it's a good fighting game.
It's a good fighting game. It was good on the Genesis too. And this is a Genesis version. It doesn't even look as bad as I thought I remembered. So the power bars look a little. It sounded like complete garbage, though. That was the worst part about it, was the sound on it. So, but yeah, any version of this game, I would play again. I loved them all. World Heroes, awesome.
There you go, World Heroes. All right, shout out to Doggy. All right, let's see. Glinzer says, I'm guessing Doggy Dog liked Eternal Champions. I know I did. I liked Eternal Champions. I liked Eternal Champions.
I liked Eternal Champions. I owned Eternal Champions. Was it the best fighting game in the world? No, but hey, Sega did, they did a good job with that. Like I said, another fighting game. I bought it because I like fighting games. I was a sucker for fighting games. I would find a way to like these things. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, shout out to Eternal Champions.
Splendid says, World Heroes.
Hero.
That's right. And even Dreadpool loved the Eternal Champions. Yeah.
Yeah, and the CD version was, of course, better. But,
That's
even
better.
the one on the Genesis was fine. It was good. Good fighting game.
It was good. Good. All right, let's move along here. Let's see.
I bet you that one scored low, too. That'd have been another good one to put up there.
Probably, yeah.
I'm sure that one scored low.
I'm sure you're right. Okay, here we go. So let me make sure I'm ready. Okay, I am ready. Okay. So the critics said about my game, Giant Bomb gave it a 40.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
I don't know. I do know that this specific game feels like something that would have been better received had it been released several years ago. They gave it a 4 out of 10. GameSpot gave it a 5 out of 10. And they said, but it soon becomes apparent that this game has little new to offer beyond cool destruction tech that never gets put to good use.
I know what you're talking about.
How dare they talk such trash about the amazing Crackdown 3?
Yeah.
That's right. Crackdown 3 critics gave it a 63. And I cannot tell you, I loved playing this game. I thought it had a cool story. I thought that it controlled a lot better than Crackdown 2 and 1 did. The explosions were more awesome. The cartoon cell shade style was perfect for this game. And the thing about this game was that it was so fun to play with a friend. I played this all the way through and through with my cousin, and collecting those orbs and leveling up your character to your play style was so fun. And then eventually being able to jump super high, eventually being able to lift a big old boulder and throw it back at the bad guys. The types of weapon you unlocked. The stupid duck gun was my favorite gun for some reason. It
Mhm.
wasn't serious, and that's what this game was all about. Was just fun. Like it didn't try to be this super serious game. You could tackle it any which way you wanted. You could go straight to the end boss if you wanted to. But you know, a lot of the stuff wouldn't be disabled. A lot of the traps would still exist, and because you have no orbs, well, you're kind of in a world of hurt, right? So I thought that was kind of cool. It just, I don't know, like they straight said that this game was just going to be more Crackdown, and that's what I wanted, and that's what I got was more Crackdown. I didn't need it to be anything more, nor was I expected it to be anything more other than more Crackdown. You know, the destruction tech that was advertised with the what was it?
The
CloudGen,
multiplayer. Yeah.
the CloudGen engine
Yeah.
that got pulled out from under the rugs, and Microsoft had to basically restart on this.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, I still think they did a pretty good job considering that the original engine that was advertised wasn't there, and I do think the multiplayer kind of sucked. I really don't think the multiplayer was very good, so I'll give them that. But the campaign to me was so much fun. I loved it. I loved every aspect of it. I loved the weapons. I loved everything about it, and the stories and the music. Oh my god! I downloaded the soundtrack to this game because I thought the music was amazing. So the fact that these guys wanted something that was advertised 5 years earlier on an engine that didn't exist anymore, thanks to, you know, business practices, shady business practices from Epic Games. I still think this game was awesome. So see, you beat this boss and you turned off these traps in the final tower. You turned off those traps, so now you could use that. So I thought it was super cool. So yeah, I loved Crackdown. I thought Crackdown was super awesome. The critics definitely got it wrong. I would easily give this game an 8 out of 10. Easily give this game an 8 out of 10. Titular, did the critics get this right or wrong?
Based off of their critiques alone, I'm going to have to say I know they got it wrong, because if you're complaining that a sequel to a game is more of the game, does that even make sense? Like, did they bother trying to say that out loud
Right, not as stupid ass.
before they typed it out? And I mean, they published that and are standing behind it, and they're like, you know, this sequel's an awful lot like the first game, just a whole lot more of it. Isn't that what it's supposed to be?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah, they wanted this game to evolve into something it never ever tried to be. Yeah,
they can have a seat somewhere in the back. Nobody wants to hear their opinion anymore.
there you go. All right, Dougie, did the critics get this right or wrong?
What did they give it anyway? What would you say they gave it?
They give it a 63 overall.
Oh, way too low, man. Like, I remember when this came out. This reminds me of, like, I played this co-op with my friend Phil.
Spencer?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, my P3 himself. P3 himself. No, Phil. Guy from Midtown. Guy from Midtown. I thought the game was fun. I mean, like, the only thing that I thought was kind of weird about it is that it was kind of a little empty or whatever in the city or whatever. You know, like, at worst, maybe that was the biggest problem with it. But the gameplay itself was fun. I don't even remember a ton about it, but I remember it had cool weapons. The driving was fun. Like this, what he's doing, like this traversal and stuff, was a great time. That last part of the game where you had to go up that huge, tall tower. Oh my god! Like that was something else in its own right. I mean, man, you really covered everything. The game was fun. There was so much fun to be had here. It wasn't trying to be something it wasn't. I remember this part going across these things too. Oh my. Yeah, we had a blast playing this game co-op. I mean, it was a good time. It wasn't too over the top or anything. It was just a fun game to play, you know. And at the time, maybe Xbox didn't have a ton of games, so maybe made it seem like it was more fun than what it was or whatever. But I had a good time with it. I had a blast. And heck, if somebody wanted to go back through this again, I would play it again, man. I wouldn't even care, man. This game was fun. This game was a good time playing through with somebody. So, I didn't understand the hate of it then. I still don't. And it's sad we'll probably never see nothing. Who did this start? Who was the developer? Yeah, you're right. And it changed they changed developer or something.
I don't remember who the initial developer was. I think Sumo Digital ended up with
Sumo
it.
ended up doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, and
And I know
it
that set
changed
it back.
developers like 3 times. It changed engines 3 times.
Right.
It was just.
I know it set it back, but it was just so fun. It was a fun, simple game.
Mhm.
And like I said, it wasn't as full a city as the Grand Theft Autos were, but other than that, man, it was a good time. It was a good time. The gunplay was good. Weapons were fun. Driving was fun. Traversal was fun. Whatever. I like the colors, the color scheme of it and stuff. So whatever. I mean, teach their own. But I thought this game was a blast playing it. So
Right, and the weapons were so creative. Like
yeah, Rebin's creative. Just all of it. So
and the soundtrack to me was like one of the best. Or it was one of the high points.
I don't even remember the soundtrack, but I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's very techno-y, and of course, being a '90s
Okay.
kid,
Yeah,
techno was great
absolutely.
in the '90s.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah.
Okay. No, great game. I had a lot of fun with this. Great pick.
Let's check in with the chat. Dreadpool says, "I'm Terry Crews." Splendifer says, "That's exactly what it was. Crack." Shout out to Eternal Shaddai. Thank you so much for being here. You're
Hey,
our
what's up?
MVP.
My double KO, bro. What's
There you go. And because Doggy played with Phil, you heard it here first. Doggy's an insider. Absolutely. 100%.
What I do? What do you say?
He said that you're an insider because you played with Phil.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, the soundtrack to this guy was one of my favorite soundtracks. I think he did.
That was an awesome song there.
Yeah, there was no song.
Yeah, it was good.
He's not, who knows? But you do want to know what I know, Doggy?
What's that, man?
Hold on. Let me
Hold him up.
Let me
Hold him up.
Hold up. I know that it's time to tell the chat what time it is, Doggy.
Oh, it's time to scrape the bottom of the barrel because it's intermission time with Death Dealer.
Woo! Take it away,
That was
Death
a lot.
Dealer.
That was a lot quicker than I was expecting.
Right? Yeah, that's
Okay.
what she said.
Doggy don't mess around
No,
sometimes.
that's Doggy's model. A lot quicker than I was expecting.
Yeah. I've heard that from plenty of ladies, man. I just make it part of my mantra.
All
Wow.
right.
Doggy, letting us down, letting us down.
All right, I'll give me a blue chew.
Don't be so disappointed, Death Dealer. Don't be disappointed.
We are
No,
talking
he
about.
put a lot of heart and effort into it. It's the thought that counts, right?
All right. We're talking about critics' bad choices today. So now we're telling you their worst pick games based on the consoles. And we have now moved on to PlayStation consoles or PlayStation games.
Mhm.
All right.
Are you ready, Death Dealer?
Now, I am. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm going to send the poll right now.
Which God of War game do the critics hate the most?
Oh.
God of War Ascension, God of War Ghost of Spartan, God of War Chains of Olympus, or God of War 3?
What do you think, Death Dealer?
I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you. But
This was a good one.
God of War 3?
Okay, Death Dealer's go with God of War 3. All right. Doggy, which one are you going with?
I'm gonna say Ascension. I'm gonna go Ascension.
I feel like you were Googling there because you weren't looking at the screen. You weren't making.
No, I was just looking at the choices.
Ah,
I couldn't have, dude. I would have had to like brought it up to my face to have been messing with it like that. You would have known I was doing that. I wouldn't do that. There's no fun in doing that. Like, what's the why did I get it right? Like,
I don't know.
I get an answer right. He's like, man, you Googled that, man. I know you did.
I don't know.
No.
I actually don't know because I didn't memorize this one.
No, I was just looking. I was just looking at the choices there. So
So yeah. All right.
It's a tough one. This is a tough.
Yeah, no, believe it or not, this is like some of the highest rating games. So it's like picking the worst of the best.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Give the chat a few more seconds.
Yeah.
Because they've only had about a minute and a half to vote. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give them
Yeah,
to
all
the 2
those-
minute mark.
that's-
5
yeah.
more seconds, chat. 5 more seconds.
That's a tough one. That was a good one. Axel, that was good. Well put together.
We are going to go ahead and end the poll there. All right. So as the chat voted, Detila, I will tell you the score. Go ahead. Take it away, Detila.
Okay, 60% said God of War Ascension.
Scored a 78.
Okay, that's probably okay.
40% said God of War 3.
Scored a 92.
Yeah, I figure. Yeah, I figure.
Figured as much, yeah. God of War. Nobody voted for God of War Ghost of Sparta.
Ghost of Sparta scored an 87.
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah.
Sounds about right. And God of War Chains of Olympus.
Scored a 91.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah.
So the lowest one, the chat finally got one right. They got God of War Ascension.
Doggy finally got one right too. There we go. Working as a team. There we go. All right.
Ooh,
Well
way to
done,
you
well
It's
done.
Googler.
because I googled it. It's because I googled it, guys. No, I'm just.
Right. He's over there. Hey Siri.
You would hear it talk, wouldn't you? I guess. No, I guess.
Hey Siri, if
don't
you
ever-
could tell me which
I
God of War
never
is the
think of
worst.
using. I never think of using Siri or any of those things. I
You know
I
what? I
don't
wonder if
either.
it can talk. Hold on, let me see. That's a good question. Let's see.
I don't either. I never think.
Which
Oh,
God of War
my
is
watch.
the worst God of War?
While opinions vary among fans, God of War Betrayal is often considered the worst God of War game by many. Here's why. Mobile platform.
Okay.
Unlike the main
Oh
All
yeah.
right, all right, hold
Enough
on.
said.
Let me
Yeah,
see.
yeah. You don't even need to go.
Enough
any further.
said.
Yeah, right, Death Dealer.
Yeah. There you go. All right, guys. While I get
Mobile
ready, can you
game.
please which like
All right, what we got here, chat wise? I think Sumo Digital was the original dev of Crackdown 3, and the multiplayer aspect was one that changed the devs. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, they had like a. Yeah, they had to change it because, yeah, first that multiplayer you're supposed to be like fully destructible environments and stuff like that, and didn't they change that after a while? And it just wasn't.
Yeah, the guy that had the cloud gen left. Well, cloud gen.
So I think it affected, like Jago said, I think it affected the multiplayer more
Mhm.
than it did the actual campaign itself.
Mhm.
I never played them. I never played the multiplayer. I don't even know if it's still live, but I play it with somebody if they want to play it. Just check it out. Yeah, the campaign. That campaign was fire, man. Like I said, I'd even play through that again too because that was fun. RWK88. I don't know if we said hi to you, but
Oh,
what's
yeah.
up, brother? What is
Shout
up?
out to WKDA. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. Thank you so much for
He
seeing that.
says, "Dang, I'm late."
Hey, you're here. You're on
Actually,
time, buddy.
Yeah, no, yeah, yeah, okay. No, yeah, thank you for joining us, brother. Who else we got? Did we miss?
Glidger says God of War 3 is the best in the series, in my opinion. Yeah, at 92. Yeah. It's
Right.
I guess God of War Ascension. He was right.
Yeah, it's
Listen, I can't argue with about God of War 3. I played that game through 4 times after the first time I played it. I insisted on playing it again multiple times. So, I mean, I agree. It's a great game.
It is.
yeah. They're like all those God of War games are great. So
The first
That was-
3 games, I think we ended up buying several physical copies of it because each time a new console came out, I was like, you know what? I want to stick to what I like.
see, that's another great
yeah.
trilogy right there. First 3
Mhm.
God of War games.
Mm.
Yeah, Yeah.
Those first 3 games were amazing.
yeah, not good. Yeah, great. Yeah, there you go. Amazing,
There you go.
amazing. Kind of like the amazing above amazing. Like they didn't make a word to describe the best trilogy, Mass Effect trilogy. That's right, Axel.
The critics got that one wrong for sure. Overhyped.
No, they got it wrong. They didn't give it 100. They got it wrong because it did not get 100. You are right. You are right, my man. Oh, facts from Axel right there.
Glidger says the Colonel's boss fights in God of War 3. Wow, yeah. All right, here we go. You ready, Death Dealer, for the next one?
All right, let's go.
I am.
Take it
I
away,
am.
Death Dealer. should have popped up.
Which Gran Turismo game do the critics hate the most? Gran Turismo 6, Gran Turismo 5, Gran Turismo 7, or Gran Turismo Sport?
What's your guess, Death Dealer?
I'm gonna guess 5.
All right, 5. All right,
Sounds
going
like a good
All
number.
right, pick a number between between 1 and 10. 5.
It sounds like a good number. There's been a few games that have hit the 5th mark, and they're not my favorite, and I've rage quitted. I won't mention what names, but it happens.
All right, Doggy, what do you got? Which one do you think you got?
I can see where Death Dealer's coming from that. I had Gran Turismo 5 on the PS3, and I did not like that, man. I did not like that game. It fell way short of the amazing Gran Turismo 3 that heck, I think that it won Game of the Year as a racing game, I believe. If not, it was nominated. It was the last racing game nominated for a Game of the Year. Gran Turismo 4 was pretty awesome, one as good as 3. So Gran Turismo 5 is a disappointment, but I think if I remember correctly, they tried to do Gran Turismo Sport and it didn't go over very well. So because it kind of deviated from what the Gran Turismo is a driving simulator. That's what they got. The real racing simulator. What do they call it?
Yeah, the real racing simulators.
Right.
Or whatever.
Right. And I think Sport was trying to go away from that. So I think the critics didn't like that one as much. I don't think it scored terrible, but I don't think it did as good as the other 3 on the list. Is my guess.
All right. So 5 and Sport. Let's see. I'll give the chat 30 more seconds. Yep. Yeah, Gran Turismo 7 made the list. I mean, isn't that the newest one? How can that be one of the lowest rated?
Right. No, that was a good. Gran Turismo 7's good. I can't imagine that being bad. I know.
I thought it scored high when I was looking at these scores.
I know what that rate. I'm not going to say it, but yeah, if that was the lowest rated one, then wow. Okay.
It's one of the 4 lowest. One of the 4.
Whoa, right? Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, and that's it. The chat's had 2 minutes to vote. We're going to go ahead and end the poll there. All right, Death Dealer, tell us what the chat said, and I'll tell you the score.
And the chat with 83% said Gran Turismo Sport
scored a 75.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely lowest. Yep.
Okay, 16% voted for Gran Turismo 5.
Scored an 84.
Okay. Nobody voted for Gran Turismo 6.
Scored an 81.
Oh, okay.
Right. Nobody voted for Gran Turismo 7.
87.
Scored an 87.
Yep. So
the chat got 2. These 2 right. The chat got the PlayStation. So they got the Nintendo wrong, but the chat got the PlayStation right.
Hey, what did Gran Turismo 3 get?
It got kicked out of my house. No, I'm just kidding.
Gran Turismo 3 was the best Gran Turismo ever. I mean, the first 2 were awesome, but 3 was the pinnacle of that series. Not saying that the other ones aren't great, Al, but that one it was so good.
Let me see if it's
Gran Turismo 3
A-Spec.
A-Spec, dude, man, that game was so good. Oh, that was such a good racing game.
Hold on, I had this.
I bet you got a 95 or something. 94 or 5.
All right, hold on. Let me see. I gotta zoom out. All right, Gran Turismo 3. Let's see. Where's 3? Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec got a 95.
And I think it won Game of the Year, I do believe. I might be wrong about that, but I know it got nominated. And racing games don't get that.
Yeah. So that one got a 95. Only outscored by the original Gran Turismo at a 96.
That was a great one too. Yeah. The first 3 were awesome, but 3 just being on the PS2, it just stepped it up a notch. It was so good.
There you go.
Yeah, it's PS2. I didn't mean to say 3. PS2.
There you go. All right. So that's gonna do it for this intermission time. Let me hide that. Let me get ready over here.
Get ready. It's round 3 of our games that are great that critics thought were crap, but you know what? Those critics are crap. That's right.
Those critics are crap. All right, let's see. Glinter says there's so many racing series that died off. Test Drive, Burnout, Midnight Club. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But Gran Turismo, yeah, it's stood the test of time.
Raw Doggy liking Sony came out. Yeah. Everything I
Oh,
know.
no,
about
there's nothing. There's
2020,
no
I live for
denying.
Doggy. I just want to say.
Yeah, there's no denying the Gran Turismo series.
No,
That's
you
great.
can't deny it. You can't
Yeah.
deny greatness, man.
Just like the
All
God
right.
of War games. Yeah.
So here we go. I am just bringing my list down here. All right, Death Dealer. Let's see what they said about your game.
Yeah, game.
Let's see. The poor matchmaking and the highly exploitable scoring system make this game less competitive than it should be, resulting in a gameplay that doesn't resemble the horror experience it sets out to be. That came from GameStop.
Game,
Death Dealer, what game are they talking about?
GameSpot.
Dead by Daylight.
Are they,
And of course,
tell us
as
how they're wrong
usual,
about
they're
this,
wrong.
Death Dealer.
As per usual, they're wrong. And what that tells me is, I'm guessing that the critics that didn't like the game are probably one of the people that I played against in Slaughter 3 rounds in a row who decided to go ahead and report my account because he couldn't hang. I'm sorry you don't know how to use a controller. You should really look into that, my friend. There are videos all over the place now. I'm pretty sure there used to be a book you could read with instructions if that's what you need. But I digress. If you don't appreciate horror, then that's perfectly fine. But this is quite literally as simple as it gets. You're either one of the killers or you're a victim. I mean, yeah, it's not difficult, but it is a fun game. And yeah, as far as gameplay goes, that's based on the people you're matched up with. So you're either getting a bunch of noobs or you're not. And it would be kind of hard to do that. So it just means that you weren't good at playing. And I'm sorry about your luck. Maybe you should go back to, I don't know, Kirby,
Oh, Kirby. Oh my goodness.
Spider-Man, maybe.
Dougie, did the critics get this right or wrong?
I really can't say. I don't even know if I've played Dead by Daylight. Like, and if I have, it's like been just for like a few minutes. So
They're still releasing updates for these games, okay? If they're so bad, why are people still playing them?
right, exactly. Yeah, people love it. Yeah, and they're the critics. So I'm just gonna go with my intuition and say, yeah, they got it wrong. So the critics. So yeah, F them. They got it wrong. Great pick, Death Dealer.
Thank you.
Show these critics who's boss.
So the thing about this is that Death Dealer's not the only panel member here that loves Dead by Daylight. Princess Zelda also loves it.
Yes,
She talks very highly of it. And if you follow Titan on his gaming accounts and are watching his shorts and stuff, he uploads Dead by Daylight still to this day. So I think the critics definitely got it wrong. How could a game that did so bad with that needs a multiplayer fan base still be alive today? Yeah. So even though I haven't played it because it's not my cup of tea, I think they definitely got it wrong. I think they got it wrong. Definitely deserved much higher than it got. So there you go. Glinster says Kirby by Daylight.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so awesome, awesome. All right, Doggy, let's read what the critics said about your game.
Yeah, those punks.
Yeah, let's hear what they said. They said Avalanche's take on a post-apocalyptic wasteland is replete with striking visuals, basic, enjoyable busy work, but not much else.
Oh. That's all they got? That's all the trash? That's all the trash they're going to talk about my game. See, they ain't got nothing. They got nothing.
Another one says, what you have here is a decent, if flawed game. It's been released into a market with some really stunning games in the same genre. If you bought it and are playing it, the chances are you're having fun and not regretting the purchase.
Yep.
Of course, take yes when asked if you liked it. So would I. Days of playing and still a third of it to go, which I could quickly plow through or continue meticulously cleaning the maps and ignoring the deadly dull and empty main plot.
No, for
A
God's sake.
plot, which is invariably just an excuse to have you drive to the next stronghold rather than actual narrative exercise. Dang. Dougie, what game are they talking about?
They are talking about one of the most highly underrated games there ever was created. The Great Mad Max. You know it, man. If you ain't played it, well, that's your own fault. That's your own fault, and you won't understand. I played this game, I swear to God, for 169 hours, which is way longer than this game would take to complete. But I played it that much trying to find all the scrap and stuff and still never even found it. So like they said, yeah, it's an open world game in the wasteland. You got, of course, Max, and you're building up your magnum opus to take on Scabrous Scrotus. Gotta love that. Yeah. How can you go wrong with the game where the main guy is named Scabrous Scrotus? I mean, that right there gives it 10 points on the Metacritic right there. Right? So, okay. Oh, where did I put it? There ain't much guns in the game. Of course, you got your iconic shotgun, because, Mad Max got a shotgun, right? You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
in the wasteland, ammo is scarce. So what you get is some nice free-flowing combat, which a lot of people do compare to Batman Arkham series.
Batman, yeah.
Right. So, I haven't played those, so I can't speak for that. But if Batman Arkham series plays like the combat in this game, then that makes me want to play it right there. The combat in this game is fun. How did Roy put it? He put it gritty. He said gritty, which it is kind of what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, while the combat's fun, the real star in this game, of course, is the car combat. Drive around the Magnum Opus. Updating the Magnum Opus, doing those convoys missions. That is an absolute blast. Just going up against enemies yourself, just finding them out in the wasteland and just going up against them. It's cool. Like if you've got your shotgun in the car and you want to shoot somebody, it'll do that slow motion mechanic and slow down so you can get them all. You know what I'm saying? And it's so fun. You could do third person in the car, or you could double tap down on the D-pad and get to the first person view, which most people that play this game didn't even know that. But the first person view is so cool in that car because you got the big hood scoop in your way and stuff. And
Oh, nice.
It's just it's so fun driving this game. Man, they knocked it out of the park with the car combat and just the driving in this game. And yeah, like those punks said, to drive to the next mission, and it was a blast driving there. It was a blast getting there, you punks. So you punks don't have no fun. You don't know how to enjoy yourself. Enjoy what the game is giving you. Okay, anyway. You can upgrade Max. Of course, you get more probably ammo, health, stamina. I can't remember what all you can do. And, of course, upgrade the Magnum Opus. Give it a V8 engine. Give it a flamethrower. Put some spikes on that bad boy. Put some better armor. Put a battering ram. And just make it so badass that nobody could touch you. And that's what it was all about. Is having that car. And the car was... But, yeah, exploration was cool. Like I said, I spent almost 170 hours looking for all the scrap in this game, and I still never found it all. Like, there's one hidden behind this gate I can't get to, and then there's two down in this sunken airport or whatever. And I looked forever, couldn't find them. Whatever. I'm never going to get them, so it's okay. Yeah, it was cool. Go around clearing all the threats, the enemy threats, taking out the scarecrows, building up your own strongholds, taking out minefields, taking out enemy camps. Oh, that was cool, taking out the enemy camps, too. Just going there, because you would kind of sit outside the enemy camp, and you'd see them outside, and you kind of plot how you're gonna get in there or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Kind of looking at them. Then you might gun a few down, and then you just go in there and start beating the crap out of them. Man, or maybe you just drive the Magnum up in there and just take down 3 or 4 of them, and boom, and then get out of there and then start pounding on people. Game was a blast, man. No matter, I don't care what anybody says. The story wasn't even boring. The story was good. I don't get it. Maybe if you just don't like Mad Max, maybe if you thought the land was a little too dull and boring. But other than that, no, this game had it all. It was so fun. Yeah, sure. There was a lot of Grand Theft Auto style games out at that time, but this one stood out amongst all of them. And this game is $4.99. And if you haven't played this game, I dare you to not play it because you're doing yourself an injustice. $4.99. Go get it now. Play this game. You will not be disappointed. Unlike the stupid critic that said that stupid stuff. One of the most highly underrated games ever, man. Right here is this game.
All right, did the critics get this right or wrong?
They got it wrong. I feel like they probably didn't even like the movies. They honestly, they must not have watched the movies for what they did. Yeah, it doesn't even make sense. Everyone I've known that's played this game has loved it. Everybody. I don't know a single person who's played this game that didn't enjoy this game. myself included.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No lies detected.
Yep.
And like I said, if they didn't like it, I'm going to assume that they probably didn't like the movies and found them pretty pointless as well and plotless. In which case, well, then yeah, you're going to find a game based on it plotless and pointless. Like, come on now, make it make sense.
Right.
Yeah. Once again, the critics know nothing.
Well, there he is, eating some maggots or some dog food. Eat some dog
Yeah.
food. But yeah,
Um,
yeah, you're right. Right. Great point, Step Dealer. Yep. She said that so good.
Yeah, the Doggy loves this game. Roy loves this game. Jago loves this game. Everybody who I know who has played this game has loved it, and it is in the backlog. So I might get to it on the year of the backlog. You never know. Instead of that trash Mass Effect, I might do this one. We'll see what happens.
All right.
So-
All right. We're going to have some problems here before the end of the night. I see.
So yeah, no, Mad Max. I think they got it wrong. 69. No way. How can the Batman combat get a 69? No
Yes.
way.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
That's
the
right, no
combat's
way.
great, dude. The
No.
combat is so good. in
I
here.
think this game probably is maybe closer to a 79. I feel like this game got unfairly Batman. Like they're like, oh, it's the Batman combat, but no Batman. It got the no Batman tax. So yeah, I don't know. I think that every time I look at this game, it looks good and it looks fun, and it looks like there's something to do. Hidden stuff everywhere. The fights look cool. The exploration after you're done fighting of looting and finding stuff looks cool. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that really would happen if I went around beating a bunch of bad guys. Once they're done, it's time for the spoils of war. So yeah, and the fact that you get to drive around the Magnus the Magnus Opus is awesome as well.
Yeah,
So yeah,
dude, it's
I think they definitely got it wrong. Shout out to my buddy Doggy.
yeah. I highly recommend this to anybody that hasn't played it. Like, you're just missing out on a classic. Like,
Mhm.
don't let that 69 score fool you. Even though
If
69,
anything, that should be the encouragement to go ahead and play.
and like I said, it's $4.99 on sale right now. You can't beat that price. That's dope. If you haven't played it, pick that up. I promise, man. If you pick this game up for $4.99, you don't like it, you just hit me up on Xbox. You hit me up on Xbox. Tell me you didn't like it. I'll send you a $5 gift card. How about that?
Okay, I didn't like it.
Except for you, Axel. I'll send you the $5 gift card once you complete Mass Effect 3.
Oh man, you're gonna need to pay me a lot more than $5 to play that game. Add about 3 more zeros to that.
Oh man.
That's right.
I don't think we're ever getting to that. Okay.
Let's see. No, I'm kidding. I probably will. I don't know.
You
when.
gotta do it, man. You gotta do
I just
it.
don't know when. I just don't
Just
know
so
when. Calm
me
down,
and
calm down, bro,
Jago
calm down.
and Cyber Gunner will leave you alone. Otherwise, you're just gonna see this every Friday night. At around this time, you're just gonna get heckled by us till you play it.
We'll see.
That's just how
We'll
it is.
see. Let's
And
see.
I'll play through some Halo. You play through some Mass Effect. There we go.
Yeah.
We trade on. Right?
Right? Let's see. Jago says Man Mac was so good it definitely deserved a sequel. Absolutely.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's the shame about it is it won't ever get a sequel just because it got. I'm trying to think of it. Got wrongly accused.
Got the Batman
of bad
tax.
score. Yeah. I was trying to think of a nice word to say.
Yeah. All right. Glitzer says, you know what we need now? Games critics love that we hate. I think we already did that one, didn't we?
I'm not sure if we did that or not. I don't
I
actually.
don't think
remember
we
that,
did that particular topic, but I know we've covered games we feel are
Yeah,
overrated
games-
or
Yeah,
can't
I think we did
stand.
overrated games. I think is what we called it or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
See, if not, we'll do that. That's a good idea. Yep.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind
either
doing
way.
it again. I got plenty more games I dislike.
Mhm. Yeah, I could do this episode again and that again. Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. So here we go. My game is up next. Oh. It's up to me.
Oh,
Let's see what the critics had to say.
give it to him, critics. Give it to him.
This game is a feast or famine. When you're playing with friends, it's an awesome experience and getting into trouble. When your group isn't up to snuff with randos, you find yourself lost, bored, and confused. No lies detected, honestly, on that one. But US Gamer gave it a 6 out of 10. Let's see. EGM, the amazing EGM.
The great. Yeah.
Yeah. This game feels like the skeleton of a game rather than a fully realized experience. Oh my God.
Is that Sushi X right there?
Oh my gosh. EGM. How could you do this to me? And of course, the game I'm talking about is the incredible Sea of Thieves.
Oh yeah.
Sea of Thieves by Rare launched, and I was a day one. I got my day one patch, right? And I did this game. I played this game straight for 3 years. This is my go-to game. I got Pirate Legend year one, first year, when you actually had to work hard to gain levels, when you had to do mission after mission after mission after mission, when you had to kill Kraken after Kraken after Kraken. When you had to kill Megalodon after Megalodon after Megalodon. I loved this game. I loved sailing it. I sailed so much in this game that I memorized the ocean and the rocks. I ran into so many griefers in this game that it was like I made it my point to sink their ships because they were griefing other players. I remember I pulled the Jack Sparrow, like drop the anchor and turn around move on someone and totally sunk their butts. I remember sinking people with like dropping like depth charges, almost the floating barrels to bring them down. I remember doing that. That was so much fun. I remember doing the me and my cousin were doing so you can do a regular treasure run and then you can do a Pirate Legend treasure run. And when you get to the end of the Pirate Legend treasure run, you get really good loot. And we didn't want to get looted. And so we set up nothing but traps all around the freaking island. And somebody came and we blew them to the next afterlife. I mean, it was great because they weren't taking our treasure. No. This is a Sea of Friendship. It's Sea of Thieves, and no one was going to thieve me. All right. And nobody going to take my boat down. Dang it. Right.
Oh, that's funny.
I remember when they added the freaking story to this game, and they had like a trap, like you had to run through a bunch of traps. Somebody followed us. We were doing the mission. Somebody followed us, and we literally ran the traps, triggered them all, ran past them, and the people that were chasing us got killed by the traps. It was great. This game, like, you have no idea how enjoyable this game is, how many great memories this game
I've heard some
built.
great stories, like that, yeah.
It's just like, and then they added the Disney stuff, the Monkey Island stuff. They added the Pirates Life stuff, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
They added the volcano island, and that's another thing, because me and my cousin, we were on a small boat and a big boat was chasing us. I was like, you know what? Let's sail towards the volcano. Their ship is bigger target for the volcano. They got sunk for chasing us. Suckers. This game was so much fun. When I say I played this game for 3 years straight, I mean it. Like, this was my go-to game for 3 full years. I played this game with my cousin the most, with my friends' kids, with my Friday night game night guys. I was a Pirate Legend. I mean, I haven't played it in a long time because, I have to play other games. I finally put it down, right? But they're all the way up to season 15 or something like that now. And I just, like, every now and again, I'm like, I want to get back into this game. But then I'm like, I load it up and they added new rocks and stuff. The ocean changed. Something happened that the ocean changed. And so the ocean I memorized doesn't exist anymore, but it's all good. It's all good. It's still fun. And the cosmetics on it, let me tell you guys this. This game made me thankful that I bought a 4K TV with HDR10.
Oh, yeah.
The HDR on this game is through the roof. The graphic, this game looks good. I don't care. You can say whatever you want. This game looks good.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
It looks fantastic. And I don't know, like the storytelling, I love it. I love that everything in the story is just another clue to another story, and it doesn't hold your hands. The point of this game is to explore, find out, and I love all of it. I love all of it. And and then like in year like 3, they added this spell that could let you breathe on the water, so you can become like almost like a mermaid for like 20 minutes. It's great. It's great. I don't know what you're talking about. This game is fantastic. It's fantastic. They got this one wrong. This game, like I would give this game like an 80, 85. Was it perfect? No, it wasn't perfect. But was it fun? Yes, it was 100%, no doubt. And whether you want to be a troll and sink a bunch of noobs, you can do that, or whether you want to be like me and just take on the trolls and guard your treasure the best way you know how. Hey, so be it. The best thing, you know what they say, a defense is harder to get through than an offense, and some people don't play defense. I always play defense. If you're gonna take my ship down, you're gonna work for it. So
Fair
yeah.
enough.
So yeah. There we go. Death Dealer, did the critics get this right or wrong?
I think they got it wrong because while I didn't actually play this game, Dreadpool played this game quite often, actually, and I did watch him play it a few times, and I thought it was entertaining just to watch him play. So it can't be that bad of a game if someone's entertained by watching someone else play it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, everyone's entitled to their wrong opinions.
Yeah. I remember blasting myself onto somebody else's boat and hiding until I could until I could grab an explosive and blow and doing the ultimate sacrifice, killing myself and them at the same time for the sake of the crew. It was just fun. I mean, it's just so much fun. Like the randomness of Sea of Thieves is really what gets to me every single time. It's just, you can't go to, and the best part about Sea of Thieves is you can't go in there and be like, oh, I have 20 minutes to play a game. I'll load up Sea of Thieves. No, it's like, I have 2 hours. Let me load up Sea of Thieves.
Oh yeah, this definitely won't be
This is a game that will suck your time because there's just, the randomness is through the roof.
Oh.
You could be planning a quick like 20-minute mission and end up taking like 3 hours to do it. Because it just, I don't know. By the way, anxiety is built into this game 100%. Okay. Because anytime you see anything on the horizon, it's like, is that a boat? Is that someone else? Are they coming at us? The anxiety is through the roof of this game. Okay. Doggy, did you ever play Sea of Thieves? Did the critics get it right or wrong?
Well, they got it wrong. Okay. So what did this get on Xbox? What
69.
What did it get on PlayStation, by the way?
I don't know. I don't care
just
about
wondered. Just wondering, to see what the critics.
see.
Let's see how much they loved it. Once we took tax off of it. Let's see what Let's see where it really stood.
All right. Let's see. I'm clicking Sea of Thieves here. Okay. All right. So the Xbox One got a 69. View all platforms. All right. PlayStation got an 81.
Matey, walk the Blake with your bull crap. Get off of my ship, you scurvy car. See, that's what I'm talking. That a whole show about critics. You bunch of butt pirates, dude. Come on. Seriously, man.
What?
What's up with that? What is up with that? It's the same game. Okay, like, dude.
I'm gonna be back.
Dude, come on, man. Like, okay, how does it go from a 69 to 81? I want to get more stuff in the game. Whatever. Okay, all right. I haven't played a ton of this game. I went out on the seas a few times with people. Yeah, it's fun. I see where. Yeah, this is in a game that like you need to know what you're doing. You need to put in some time. I actually had it downloaded for a while because I thought we was going to go out and sail the 7 seas and try and sink the PlayStation guys, and this kind of stuff, which would be fun. But I wouldn't be a skilled guy. I know it takes a lot of time. But as to your points that I do know about it, this game is beautiful. And I do remember this was like one of the first, because you said something about HDR10.
Mm-hmm.
I remember this was like one of the first games that they touted with that, along with like Forza Horizon 3. And this was like a reason to get an Xbox Series S at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and Yeah, this game is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, and I can't imagine why anybody that's hardcore in this game is they talk good about it. So and it did good on PlayStation. It's so good and people are playing it,
It's the highest selling game of the new first parties on there. Yep.
Right, and people are playing it, and people still play it to this day. So people are like Death Dealer even said earlier, people are still playing it to this day. So it must not be quite that bad. Okay, so yeah, I mean, you critics, throw them back. That thing's rotten. That thing already died before we caught it, man. Yeah, get out of here with that. But no, they definitely got it wrong. I would like to play this game some more. I'd like to go out on the seas and, steal some treasure in that. But I know that it's not that simple. I know it's
not easy to steal.
I know, yeah. So don't don't get me wrong on that. But I'd like to get my my time in and get better at it. So looks like a fun game. Great pick. Definitely a bad. I think it deserved more of the 81 in the first place.
There you go.
But awesome on them. Awesome on them though to keep adding the content, like you said, like that. What Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah,
and added story mode to it. And they've added plenty of other stuff to it.
Yeah.
What exactly is the criteria to be a critic anyway? I mean, are they just telling people like, "Hey, you picked up a controller at some point in time in your life, you're hired"?
I think it's just people who can write well, but maybe can't play well sometimes.
Right.
I don't know. That's the way I feel on some of them because like somebody in the chat brought it up earlier. There was a game a journalist who couldn't get past the tutorial level of Cuphead. I feel that some of them are bad. Yeah. So let's check in with the chat, shall we? Shout out to Legendary Yobi. Thank you so much for being here.
Yobi, what's up?
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Jago Cookie and I will never talk about that game. Matter of fact, skip that chat. All right. So here we go.
What game was that?
I'll let you look at it.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
I'm gonna skip that. Skip that crap.
Okay.
Death Dealer.
You all need Jesus.
Yeah, I saw he said that.
You need Jesus. I feel like the critics need Jesus. Like
Right?
they obviously
they are
no
nasty.
idea what they're doing with their
Yeah.
lives.
They are nasty, yeah.
If the only criteria is being able to write well, I might just have to get a job as a critic because I can write well and I know good games.
Right, yeah, you do way better. Yeah, you do way better.
I feel like it's time someone who knows what they're doing step into this situation.
And on top of that, then you wouldn't go on Twitter and make a fool of yourself either. Like a lot of these journalists do. Like you just write your piece and be done with it. Yeah. See? Yeah. This would actually be a model journalist right there. Show these guys how it's done, guys and gals, if you will. Yeah. But yeah.
Right? Yeah, Jago says, I'll agree with Axel on Sea of Thieves because it's a dang blast of friends. It really is, man.
See, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd like to play it more with friends. Yeah.
I mean, you get to call your pirate fellow friends all kinds of funny pirate names.
Arr.
Arr. Let's see. Glinda says, I also remember a female critic who said she watched her boyfriend play the game. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, nice. That's a great way to.
That's an insult. That is a severe insult.
What a great way to let people know how the game played, to sit there and watch it on the couch and watch somebody play. Yeah. Hell, yeah, I'll start reviewing games, just watching them on Twitch. Why not, man? Let's go.
Let's do it.
Was she Gen Z, perhaps? Because I know Gen Z has a very large fascination with watching people play video games and watching people do stuff. So, Gen Z, maybe?
Maybe.
Wow.
All right. But with that being said, Dougie, guess what time it is?
All right. Well, we got a critic score for Axel because he hadn't played Mass Effect Trilogy and he likes the Denver Broncos. So the critics come in at a 12.
12.
You get a 12. All right. Let's see what we got right here with the lovely, the talented Death Dealer.
Woo! Take it away, Death Dealer.
All right, we are discussing critics' choices tonight, and now we have reached Xbox consoles. Now we're going to be discussing which game the critics found the worst for the Xbox console a series of games from
Yep.
Xbox, I should say. That sounds better. That's
All
more
right.
precise.
We all set?
Perfect. Yeah.
Ah, yeah. Yes.
Here we go. And it is in the chat.
All right. Which Halo game do the critics hate the most? Halo Wars 2, Halo Spartan Assault, Halo 3 ODST, or Halo 5 Guardians?
Which one do you think the critics hate the most?
I'm trying to think of which one that I got myself handed to me by like an 8-year-old when I played with him years ago.
Those will be itty for me.
It could have been any of them.
In my defense, the child was a prodigy. Okay, he was a little Halo prodigy, and I warned him I was not good at it, and he still insisted I played. I believe it was Halo Wars 2, so
All right. Halo Wars 2.
maybe.
All right. Doggy. Doggy, what do you think? By the way, chat, be sure to vote. We only have 2 votes right now. Come on, chat. You can do better.
Man, this is a tough one. This is another tough one like that God of War. I think Halo Wars 2 did really good. I don't remember. Like, it's Spartan Assault good. ODST. Maybe people didn't like that one as much, but I think the one that I think Halo 5 Guardians was the one that got the most like hate from people, if I remember correctly. So I'm gonna go Halo 5 Guardians. I have really no clue, but I think that one seemed to be the worst hated on. But there's of course no bad Halo game, so whatever,
Yeah,
That's my guess.
So in Halo 3 ODST, you don't even play a Spartan. You play an ODST, right?
Right.
And the soundtrack is like jazz music. So a lot of people
Right.
are like, yeah, but I loved ODST. Halo 5 Guardians, it's because of that whole marketing, like Hunt the Truth or whatever.
Yeah.
And the fact that you played a lot of Locke instead of mostly Master Chief, a lot of people hated that one. I don't see why anybody hates Halo
Okay,
Wars.
Halo
Halo
5.
Wars is the one I play every week. Every week I play Halo Wars for hours. And Spartan Assault is the dual stick shooter version of it.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's what.
Look at that dealer! Look at Spartan Dealer.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Can you see us, that dealer?
I can see just fine.
Nice.
Oh, cool. That's cool. Yeah,
There you go.
that is awesome. Man, wow.
All right,
Do you have one of those, Axel? Do you have a wearable Halo? helmet?
No, I don't wear one. I was thinking of getting the motorcycle helmet one for my bike, but then I saw my motorcycle.
Yeah. They got that Doom helmet too. I didn't even know they had that until today. Somebody was talking about it, but it's another $175. I was like, oh my gosh, man! Like, no, you're going a little too crazy. But
And I think that's it. I don't think anybody's gonna vote. It's been 3 minutes, 7
Yeah.
votes.
what we got? Yeah.
All right, that dealer, you read it. I will tell you the score.
Okay. And I feel like that's echoing. Okay. At 42%, they said Halo 5 Guardians.
Halo 5 Guardians scored an 84.
Ooh. Okay.
28% said Halo 3 ODST.
This was the other one I was thinking.
And 83.
Ah, I knew I should have went with that.
Okay. And 14% said Halo Wars 2.
Scored a 79.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I'd have been wrong anyway. Okay.
And 14% said Halo Spartan Assault.
Scored a 53.
Nice.
53.
Well,
I don't think,
I'm-
and I don't think the critics got it wrong between you and me.
yeah, I didn't know that sport. If I didn't know the Spartan Assault was that twin stick, I guess I would have just kind of guessed that. 'cause
It was a mobile game.
So Halo 4 actually was the highest rated, or Halo 4. Halo 5 was actually the highest rated one out of the
Highest rated at all of them. Yeah, the mainline Halos still continue to be highly rated.
Right. So Halo 5 is like the most kind of hated on mainline Halo,
Game.
right?
Yeah. Mainline, yes.
And then wow. I like how you do that, man. You trick us with you do your play on words of stuff. So yeah.
I didn't play any words here, man. I
Yeah, you
didn't
did. Yeah, you did. Somehow you did. It might not look like it on the surface, but you did.
I was like,
Uh,
Yeah,
oh,
but-
wait, which one of these Halos is the worst?
Yeah. Well, I know what you're doing. You covered up well, but it's cool. It's all right. Moving on.
I've been working
Moving
on my
on.
poker face since I got on this.
Yep.
Let's see. Splendiferous says Halo 5, and Jago Cookin says definitely Halo 5. There
Yeah,
you
that's what
go.
I'm saying. Yeah, you had to be fooled there. Good one there. Here.
All right, Dustin, are you ready for the last one?
yes.
Here we go, and it is up.
What is this gonna be?
Alright.
Gears
Which
of War.
Gears game do critics hate the most? Gears of War Judgment, Gears of War 4, Gear Tactics, or Gears Pop?
Dustin, what do you think?
I feel like Gears Pop sounds like a mobile game.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go with Gears Pop. I feel
Okay.
like final answer.
Final answer. All right. Doggy, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't see how you could hate on Judgment.
You don't know these critics, Doggy. You don't know them.
Right, but I'm just trying to talk to them. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, right. And Gears of War 4, I know they kind of criticize the story, I guess, and the coalition.
Yeah, because you couldn't play Marcus. The same thing happened that to Halo.
Right, so I know there was that. Gears Tactics, I thought that scored a high, but I don't even know that. But Gears Pop, I mean, like, if I'm just gonna go like with what I would say, it'd have to be Gears Pop. I mean, that was just a mobile piece of trash. I mean, like, let's just
Oh.
be real about it. I mean,
Oh.
that's what it was. I played it. Got tired.
I
of
played it.
knew it was a mobile game. I knew it.
Yeah, it was a mobile. And it was because it was like Funko Pop heads on them and stuff. You know.
Yeah, it
like-
was Funko Pop, and they even had Gears Pop, Gears collectible figures.
Yeah, they had. Yeah, they
I
had.
bought the,
Which
I bought the little box.
I wish I
Well,
would.
I didn't buy it. My cousin bought it. He collects pops or whatever.
See,
they are.
that's what I'm saying. I don't really buy those. The only pops I have is when Toys R Us was going out of business in Terre Haute. I bought the Street Fighter pops that they had, left. But not pop person. Anyway, I wish I'd have got those. But I would say Gears Pop just out of my own. I'm sure somehow these stupid critics are gonna prove me wrong again because that's what they do. But Gears Pop, that had to be the worst. That has to be the worst ones of those. Even Gears Tactics was interesting for a while for me, and I don't even like Tactics games. So.
Oh wow, you played it? Wow. Okay.
Well, when the Series X came out, that was like the launch game.
Yeah, that
That's
was the
all-
launch game.
Like
That's
that was
right.
all we got. That Tetris Effect. I mean, that's all we had. So I mean, like, if you wanted to check out an Xbox Series X game, you had to play that. I mean, which that was kind of sad. It's kind of like the PS5 Pro launch. It just there was nothing there. Why? It sucks getting no games with that. But Gears Pop has to be it. I will be floored if it's not that. And I'll quit talking.
All right, get your licking tongue ready, Doggy. You ready?
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the floor.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go into the poll here. All right, Deathdealer, tell us. Read it out. Let's see where we go.
66% said Gears Pop.
Scored in 64.
Oh, guaranteed that's the worst. Yeah, guaranteed that's the worst.
All right. 16% said Gears of War Judgment.
Scored a 79.
Yeah.
16% said Gears Tactics.
Scored an
80. 80 what? What was it?
80.
80. Okay. Yep. Okay.
Nobody voted for Gears of War 4.
Scored an 84.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So Gears Pop, it was. Doggy, give yourself a round of applause. Ooh, you
All right.
got the
Woo!
floor.
Yeah.
You can stay
All right.
seated, buddy. You can stay seated.
All right. Yeah. I was gonna say I didn't want to hit the floor.
Let's see.
What if
Splendiferous thought it was Judgment.
No, Judgment's good, man. I like.
Good says Judgment isn't bad. It was just different enough that crazies had to whine about
It's
it.
a
Yeah,
little
'cause,
bit. It's a little bit
the same
different.
thing it's the same thing. You don't play the main character, people get upset. They didn't play Marcus. Yeah.
Right. It and they got the little trials. What is that? Like you're playing. I can't remember what they call that. Where you're trials, but yeah, you got like 7 sections per trial or whatever. And yeah, I think it's cool. The only difference with the gameplay is you don't select your gun with the D-pad. You select it with Y, so you only got 2 different weapons, and then you throw a grenade with LBE, which I kind of like. But you use all these Gears games I played in the past 6 months. I'm used to using LB to see where to go and look where your partner's at. and where your team's at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you accidentally throw a grenade every once in a while, but it's a fun game. I love it. I think it's cool.
Absolutely. And Jago Kukin says, I knew it had to be Gears Pop. Yeah.
Yeah, it had to be. I mean, it's a mobile game. Yeah, stinky.
All right. So, guys, there we go. These are the games we loved that we think the critics got wrong.
Yeah.
Walk the plank. You know what kind of pirate you are. I don't have to say it.
You're nasty, you need
Yeah,
Jesus.
you booty pirate.
You booty pirates. Yeah, these critics are booty. So,
Booty.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be fair, though, they never grade horror games on a very easy or level scale, honestly. I feel like, whoever is criticizing these games, reviewing the games, I don't think they like the genre in which they're
Right.
reviewing.
That's a lot of the problem is like, yeah, they should give these games to people that like the genre. Yeah, you'll see people that review these games, they don't like it. They don't even say in the review, oh, I don't even like this genre. You know? And like, so why'd they give you the game, man? Like, if you don't like a racing game or a fighting game or long RPGs, then don't review it because you're automatically going in with a bum ideology, if you will, of the game. So you suck, and you're already and you're a critic too, so you suck in the first place. So, if
You're automatically wrong.
you're automatically
you're wrong.
and then you're playing a game you don't like, so you suck even more, and just
you're paid to be wrong. Let's
Yeah.
just be honest. You're paid to be wrong and give terrible
I want to
advice.
fill up.
That's
I want to fill up
exactly what
so
it is.
hard.
yeah. Like
Yeah, no,
Weatherman.
it was so funny because like a lot of people's gripe with Sea of Thieves was like, oh, the single player sucks. The single player sucks. Never once was the game ever advertised as single player. It said it was a co-op adventure game the entire time.
Right, I always
Co-op
thought
adventure.
that was the point of it, was pretty much just
And
a
people were like, oh,
multiplayer.
the single player sucks. The single player sucks. Oh, this game sucks to play by yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
your point?
There was a review one time, and I cannot remember what game it was for, but I read this review. It was a zombie game, and it was just a hack and slash zombie game. There was no other plot to it, no point to it. You just walk through killing zombies. And they said, the critic was like, there's too many zombies. Huh?
Yeah, it was like
How
whole
does
thing
that
with,
work?
like, The Legend of Zelda and the Wind Waker, where like IGN was like, it's too much water. Right? I mean, the things they say is so stupid. Jago Kukin says, since most people don't like horror games, they get more harsh criticism. Yeah.
They do.
Yeah,
They really do.
absolutely. And Glinzer says, yeah, it's critics who love Kirby rating Dead by Daylight. Just wrong.
I mean, not necessarily. I love me some Kirby and I love me some Dead by Daylight. But you have to like both. That's the problem. You have to like all the genres.
Are these critics? They be sailing in butt cracks. That's where they come up with all the ideas.
That's why all their reviews stink, doggy. That's why they stink.
They stink. Our matey. I can't listen to these critics no more.
Yeah, and Jago Kukin has a great point here. It hasn't popped up yet on the main chat. He says, Pirates of the Caribbean single player edition and Sea of Thieves is phenomenal.
Right, that's what I'm saying. See, they added, dude, that game came out, 2017, something like that, because that's when the series
something like
came
that,
out,
yeah.
right? The HDR10 and all that stuff like you named. That was such a good point. Yeah, they've just been adding to it ever since, they never stopped, even though it got trashed in the beginning. Oh, this game sucks, but it still gets played by a lot of people. I don't know. It hasn't died. It's not some kind of dead game.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't know. Yep, it definitely deserves way more than that 60 something whatever it got. So, critic, I don't like that
Yeah.
fucking game.
I just said critic. I don't like that fighting game. Too many kicks. Yeah, exactly.
Right, that's
complain about.
right. That was a great quote. Yep, good. That's good
Mhm.
stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
Too many punches and
Yeah.
kicks in that fighting game. Where?
I feel like they're missing the point of a lot of these games. They're like, oh my gosh, this gameplay is anxiety inducing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we're going for.
Right.
Oh my gosh, this gameplay gets your adrenaline and your anxiety going. Yeah. Yeah. there's too many jump scares in this horror game. I don't see the problem.
Yeah, it's a horror game.
What's the problem, Becky?
It's a horror game. That's what we're trying. That's what we're gunning for there. Yeah.
There's too many killers. Oh no.
If you're not a fan of the genre, don't rate it. Give it to somebody who is.
Yeah, just this
Like-
year alone, Sea of Thieves on Steam had 31,600.
I was gonna say that. I know if you look at the Steam numbers, right? I know you can't
and
look
that
at
doesn't
the
include the
Xbox
Game
player,
Pass numbers, the Xbox
Right.
numbers, or the PlayStation numbers. I mean,
but if you
there's probably
go,
close to maybe 50,000 gamers at one point.
and there's plenty of players on PS to play, So
Yeah, that's my whole point. Yeah.
yep, it's yeah, that was a good idea. That was a good idea putting it over there. Just
Mm-hmm.
why not? Just put more players over there. And the thing is I say I want to go out and sink some of these PS players or whatever. By now, these dudes will be awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like they might be sailing the blue flag, man, but by now they've got their sea legs.
Mm-hmm.
And
But the campaigns are still fun to play, Doggy. I mean, you should play the campaigns.
I would like to play that Pirates of the Caribbean, right?
Yeah,
Or what
because
is it? Yeah.
now that you can also load Safer Seas, which you could just play by yourself, like no other gamers, no other people playing.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
single player too? Oh, okay.
Well, it's not single player. It's like only you and your friends. It's like a private server, right?
Like a
And so you can go
tutorial
do the
or something.
campaigns without anybody bothering you.
Oh, okay.
But I like going to the regular experience and dealing with the randomness. I don't know. I love the randomness, right?
Nah, I'd want to do that. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If I get into that game, if I re-download that 100 gigabyte game, I won't play it with my friends. You know what I'm saying? Like whoever
Yeah.
it is, I'd like to get a crew together. That'd be cool. So
We should.
yeah,
Yeah, all right.
no.
Me, you and Death Dealer are gonna be selling the seas sometime right here.
Oh,
live on the
geez,
show.
yeah, how many people can play at once on that? Anyway,
Three.
how much of
Three.
a
Cruise of 3.
really? That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm surprised.
A total of 11 ships can be on the server
Or-
with crews of 3. So a total of 33 players can be on the same server.
How am I supposed to swap the poop deck with only 3? With only
Trust me, you're
3
gonna be swabbing there,
pirates.
Deckhand.
Okay, yeah.
I'm the pirate legend. I'm the captain.
I'm gonna yeah, you can drink so much, you drink so much you puke and all that. You see, they put like all that, all that love into it. So
Right.
yeah,
Give
man,
it
if anybody ever wants to
alcohol,
sell the
yeah.
seas, let me know. I'll do it. I had it downloaded and then because I was gonna play with Jago and I remember who else was gonna play it. We're just like, whatever, play that because we got so many other things to play. But I'll download it. I got the hard drive set base to play it. So
There you go. I'm sorry, Death Dealer, what were you saying?
Oh, I forgot now. Oh, I like a game that adds the function that you can get drunk in it. It's always entertaining, especially when your character's stumbling around.
nothing. Can't
It's only been in a few games, as far as I know. So
Right.
it's fun.
Okay, guys. But all right, that's gonna be it for today's show. But of course, we wouldn't be able to do this show without you guys, the chat, and that's why you guys, the chat, will always be the MVPs to all of the shows here on the Iconic Video Games channel. But with that being said, we are gonna go ahead and get out of here. I'm Axel1324,
I'm Death Dealer.
And I'm Dog 420.
and we will catch you guys next week. Bye, everybody.